fantasy sports analysis to win your league. Plus, hear pick-by-pick coverage of live drafts and interviews with top players, coaches, and team executives on SiriusXM 87.
I'm Mick Kern with It Happened in Baseball. July 21st, 1953. Shibe Park in Philadelphia as the Phillies played host to the Milwaukee Braves. With the visitors down by 10 runs in the 7th inning, manager Charlie Grimm went to his bullpen and motioned for 17-year-old Joey J to take the mound. The native of Middletown, Connecticut, was the leading edge of a new wave of baseball sweeping across America. New rules instituted in the late 40s mandated that young players signed to contracts had to remain with the big league club for the first 2 years of that deal in an effort to make sure that the top clubs didn't scoop up all the top young talent and stash them away on their farm teams. This rule lasted until the late 50s and then was reinstituted during expansion in the early 60s. The adoption of the amateur draft in 1965 put an end to it. These so-called bonus babies included the likes of Sandy Koufax, Al Kaline, Harmon Killebrew, and Catfish Hunter, and Joey J, who spent 7 seasons with the Braves before being traded to the Reds in 1960. He finished his major league career in 1966 back with the Braves, but this time the franchise was located in Atlanta. J rang up a record of 99 wins and 91 losses with an ERA of 3.77, was one strikeout away from 1,000 for his career. The right-hander was a switch hitter and helped his own cause by hitting 2 home runs during his career, both coming in 1962 with Cincinnati. Besides being a bonus baby, Joey J is also best remembered as the first Little League player to make it all the way to the major leagues. For It Happened in Baseball, I'm Mick Kern.
Get the latest news, opinion, and analysis from MMA to boxing and the professional wrestling world 24/7. SiriusXM Fight Nation, SiriusXM 156, and the SXM app.
This is the NBA on SiriusXM.
Full steam out of the backcourt, all the way to the rim for a thunderous slam.
Every game, all season long, through the NBA Finals.
Drives, he jump stops, he's off balance, he put it up and in. I don't know how.
Your home for hoops is SiriusXM Radio. Now, let's take you courtside for the game.
Paul Jones and Javon Shepard over to Josh Lundberg. Josh, the Rockets have a lot to play for, and it's Freddie that is, of course, on the Rockets roster. So a lot for the Raptors to deal with here.
Yeah, and knowing Fred as we do, I'm sure he's had this game circled on his calendar for a while. And I'm sure the game a week from today in Toronto is circled and highlighted on his calendar. But what's funny is he was a member of this Raptors team less than 8 months ago, and he's only played with a third of the current Raptors roster, and it could be even fewer than that on February 9th, the day after the trade deadline. That's one of the reasons why he made the decision that he did. He's talked about it, that he could sense the Raptors were transitioning to a different direction, a different era around Scotty Barnes. Now, of course, we have to point out that he's playing for a very young team in Houston as well, but I think for him it was about charting his own course, kind of choosing his own destiny, playing for a team that obviously wants him there, and then, of course, money talks as well. I've talked to Fred a couple of times since the summer, and it sounds like he's really happy there and happy with his decision to sign in Houston, and by all accounts, the Rockets are happy to have him as well. He's helped expedite the rebuild. They're already at 22 wins, which matches their total from all of last season. They just traded for Steven Adams. They're going to get him next year, and that should help quite a bit as well, and it sounds like they intend to be buyers ahead of the trade deadline. So, yeah, an interesting team that's right on the cusp of taking that next step, and I'm sure they're going to want to get a win for their leader, Fred VanVleet, tonight.
Thanks very much. Look forward to chatting with you and Warren at halftime. Now over to Paul Jones and Javon Shepard. And Jonesy, they won in Chicago. It would be nice to have a road winning streak, wouldn't it?
It's been a while, Jim. Raptors have not won 2 in a row since early in January, and they could use it, Javon. When you think of the way things have been, listen, they're one rebound away from being 2-0. One defensive rebound away from being 2-0 on this trip. One box out. And, Sadiq Bey puts that back in. But the Raptors have been tenacious. They've done a good job of kind of hanging in and playing well, even though they're undermanned right now.
Yeah, undermanned, and I think the impressive thing to me, which speaks to the character of the guys as well, is that everybody knows. I don't think it's the elephant in the room anymore. That there's going to be more moves. There's going to be more changes, and guess what? These guys are still going out there. They're still competing at a high level. And to your point, right? One box out, and you have a 2-0, winning streak right now, which has been few and far between on the season. But I really look at that and how a number of even the veteran guys have come out and just really stepped up, and they're competing as if they know they're going to be here for the development and for the trajectory of the team. So this is one of those games, it's going to be emotional as well, because you're playing against your former teammate for some of these guys, Fred VanVleet, and he's going to give it his all. So there's still that competitive nature, that competitive piece where I'm still not going to let Fred come in here and, walk all over us.
Well, right now, Fred's at home as he's wearing a Houston Rockets uniform. And let's give you the starters as we wind our way toward tip-off. The Raptors starting lineup is brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealers. Unhibernate. Redefine winter fun with Subaru all-weather capability. Visit your local Subaru dealer and welcome to Uncommon Winter Confidence. Scotty Barnes, Bruce Brown, who did a really nice job. Like I said, if I was at the park, Bruce Brown would be on my team, man.
That's your type of player.
He's a baller, man.
That's every coach's player.
Every coach's guy. Jakob Poeltl in the starting lineup tonight. Gary Trent Jr. and Emmanuel Quickly also back in the starting lineup. And Javon, we'll get to the Houston starters in a second, but I expect them to be a little rusty, maybe a half a step short, but it is a real asset having Jakob Poeltl with his smarts and his size to be guarding a guy like Şengün for the Rockets.
Yeah, and we've wanted to see Jokic,
Baby Jokic.
I call him Baby Jokic.
I got you.
You want this matchup, one, to get the size back for Poeltl against Baby Jokic, Şengün. But we've also wanted to see Poeltl in the mix with these young guys, right? He's been off for some time with that ankle, and yeah, he may come out be a step slow and a bit rusty, but to get out there and throw a body around, you need him.
Well, the Raptors will add a little bit of depth as some of those guys that were playing big minutes will get a little bit of a break, but let's face it, they got really good play for Jordan Nwora off the bench. Dennis Schroeder continues to be really solid off the bench, and hey, Grady Dick is getting a few minutes, and for Grady's development, you can't frown on any time when he's on the floor. And even in the last couple games, Giovanni hasn't given you all that you've wanted from the scoring. He's better in Atlanta, but he's learning other ways to impact the game, and this is what Grady's going to have to be as he rounds into shape in this league.
Yeah, he has his really good spurts offensively where, yeah, he doesn't have high-scoring games, but you see the flashes. And one thing I do notice with Grady is he always finds a way to be open, right, and getting into gaps where he can get shots. Now, adjusting and taking those shots with the timing on the catch and being shot ready is another thing that he's going to have to adjust to. But there's games, like you mentioned, against Atlanta where he looked ready. He was shot ready. When the ball touched his hands, he was ready to go. So it's just, I think it's just going to take time with him. And then, more importantly, allowing his body to mature, getting stronger, and, just working on the athleticism, that part there. Because on the defensive side, you are seeing some of those improvements.
Yes.
You are seeing him move his feet laterally. You are seeing him put his body in the way, take, charges on the chest. So work in progress, but I think it's time. This is just year one for him. I shouldn't even say year one, half a year, half a season.
Well, half a season, and the Raptors are being introduced. The lights are down at the Toyota Center in Houston as they get set for the Rockets to be introduced, and we'll give you the Rockets starting lineup. Dylan Brooks, the Canadian. Jabari Smith Jr., the aforementioned Alperen Şengün, Josh Green, and the veteran leader, Fred VanVleet. And this is a team that has also got some guys that are playing well. You talk about Cam Whitmore playing really well off the bench. They got Uncle Jeff, old man Jeff Green, Uncle Jeff Green doing a good job for them off the bench. Houston is not where they were, a couple years ago, Javon. When you think about it, they were really, really young. And you and I have talked about this on a different platform, that our guy Steven Silas really got kind of a bad deal. He thought he was going to get Harden and Westbrook, and he ended up with an AAU team, and a few years later it cost him his job. But this is a much more kind of balanced and prepared for the future team, Houston. They do have young guys, but they got some vets too when you think about the likes of Dylan Brooks and Fred VanVleet and Jeff Green, and even some of those vets that have been on a number of teams like an Aaron Holiday, a Reggie Bullock. Those guys are helpful.
And you think they're not just vets, right? They're vets that command respect.
Because they're still playing.
Still playing at a high level. Fred VanVleet, he's a champion. Jeff Green, he's a locker room guy. Dylan Brooks, you can see just from his absence in Memphis and how much shambles, so to say, Memphis is in right now. He's another locker room guy. Watch him this summer with Canada and his impact with those guys holds, your star player right down to your 15th man accountable. Locker room guys. So they're not just veterans, but then you get them into the mix with Jalen Green. He's playing last 5 games, just under 30 points. You mentioned Cam Whitmore, just 19 years old. Last 4 games, 20 points per game on really good percentages. So, there's a great balance here, and obviously Şengün, and I'm going to keep calling him Baby Jokic all night, but that's what you want. And you think about the Raptors a couple years ago. That's exactly that makeup is exactly what it was for Fred, for Pascal, for OG. They had DeMar, they had Kyle Lowry, right? And they had vets that had walked the path to show them how to be pros, but also showed them how to work and apply their craft, apply what they've worked on real game time.
Well, the Rockets just recently made a trade too, Javon, going forward. You talk about a vet. If he's healthy and he's able to play, they're going to have one Steven Adams on their team next year, and something else that, probably will help catapult them forward.
Well, you have him in the mix to back up Şengün and that trio of Jabari Smith Jr. and Şengün, and now the big fella like that. That's a nice little front court there. Physical.
Houston will wear the alternate uniforms, the third uniforms white with H-Town scripted across the front. The Raptors will wear the black uniforms with red and white trimming, the Jumpman logo emblazoned above the left breast area. Pirtle and Şengün will jump it up. Officiating the game tonight in Houston, Mitchell Irvin, Ray Acosta, and Jenna Schroeder. Raptors win the tip, and they will come front court right to left. Barnes down to Pirtle. Near block, left side, gets it to Quickly. IQ up top to Brown. Swing to Gary Trent Jr. Shot fake. Steps into the lane. Banks it up and in. High off the glass for Gary Trent Jr. Raptors go up 2-0.
Off balance floater off that right foot. Crafty finish, but the first entry right into the post to Pirtle.
When Gary sees that first one go in, that's a good sign.
Always.
Houston back. Brooks to VanVleet. Deep 3 up top for Fred. No good. Rebound Pirtle. Outlet Quickly right up the middle of the floor. Raptors going right to left. Quickly into the lane. Stops, has it knocked away. It goes out of bounds. Off Toronto as Quickly tried to retrieve it. It'll be Houston basketball. And now they're thinking that Fred touched it. I thought Fred might have touched it, and Mitchell Irvin said yes, he did. It will be Toronto basketball. So the Raptors will keep the ball, 12 on the shot clock. Quickly between the rings. Now to Pirtle. Left elbow near side. On the bounce, gets it to Quickly. Into the lane, stop, kick it out. Trent got to go. Shot clock at 1. Top of the key, jumper short. Standing rebound to Dylan Brooks. Up the middle of the court, Brooks gets it to Şengün. On the near side. Down to Şengün on the block. Near side, backs in on Pirtle. Shoulder shake, lefty hook is up and in.
Real patient with that as well, right? Takes his dribbles, 3 dribbles, and like you mentioned, just the shimmy, just that shake gets Pirtle off enough to where he can get to that left hand in the middle of the key.
Raptors back, game tied at 2. Barnes in the lane, kicks to Bruce Brown. Down low to Pirtle. Kick it back out quickly. Down to the baseline. The runner up and in. Wow, IQ with about a 12-foot runner, far side, right wing, 4-2 Toronto. Van Vliet into the lane to Şengün. Spins, runs into Barnes, leans in under duress, throws it up and in. Tough shot to tie the game at 4. Back comes Toronto. Brown to Pirtle. Back to Brown. On the bounce, into the lane. The floater short. Rebound. Josh Green. As he comes front court, quickly called on the foul against Jabari Smith Jr. IQ got caught against a big guy down low, Javon.
Well, they might have missed one on the other end. Bruce Brown coming off of that screen, getting to the basket. And you can see him speaking to the initial, saying, listen, there was hands on my hip, got a little shove. And once you go airborne, the slightest touch can have you off balance.
Raptors steal the ball. They knock it away from Green. Here comes quickly to Brown. Kicks into the corner. Open 3. Gary Trent Jr. no good. Rebound Şengün. Outlet Van Vliet. Now to Green. To Fred straight away. Şengün down the lane. Leans in on Pirtle. His behind the back bounce pass out to the 3-point line. Intercepted. Quickly sidestep 3 no good. Rebound tipped up by Barnes but goes into the hands of Houston. Van Vliet front court to Şengün. Push shot from the foul line, no good. Rebound Barnes. 4 apiece. 8:59 first quarter. Bruce Brown down low, can't get it up and in. Rebound, here comes Dylan Brooks. And he's bumped at midcourt by Bruce Brown, who will take the foul. Game tied at 4, 8:50 first quarter.
That was a tough one for Bruce Brown, right? Scotty Barnes really let him, probably overthrew the pass a bit, and Brown trying to make something out of nothing. But the other 2 shots, previous 2 shots in transition, I thought, there was opportunities to get to the rack. But modern day NBA, everybody's pulling up from the 3.
And welcome to the new age game.
It's points per possession. That's the emphasis. 2 for 3.
Barnes 3 says thank you very much. Splashes it in the bottom of the well. Raptors up 7-4. 8:25 first quarter.
First shot for Scotty. Rhythm shot from the 3. That's a good look.
And then now in the corner, Jabari Smith Jr. fouled by Barnes. The Auburn product, put it on the floor. Scotty got him. Scotty gone with the headband tonight.
Yeah. Headband and...
Are you a headband guy, Javon?
Headband and I wasn't, but I can appreciate it.
I can appreciate it.
I wish I had the confidence to pull it off, though.
Yeah, headband to me screams pickup. You know the why, but hey, man, it's become popular in the NBA. Houston ties it with a 3. Jabari Smith Jr.
He shot the 3 ball well, 37% on the season.
Game tied at 7, 8 minutes first quarter. Barnes up top, a deep 3 from Scotty, missed everything. Houston will take the ball front court on the inbound. Little heat check for Scotty there.
Heat check after 1 shot.
Şengün in the lane, kicks out. Van Vliet up top into the lane. Jabari Smith Jr. another 3, far side, left wing. Houston up 10-7.
That's tough, right? That's your 4-man catching the ball on the move for the 3.
Quickly into the lane, bounces off Şengün. Van Vliet was also there. Referee Mitchell Irvin got the foul. And who are they going to give it to? Şengün will take the foul. As Houston arguing that quickly passed it, and the referees are saying no.
Well, pass or not, this is a matchup that IQ can attack, right? Against Fred, Fred's obviously a good defender, but is he going to want to chase quickly around the court all night? No. And with that, quickly getting an advantage, now you have Houston in coverage. Now you have them forcing additional rotations. And Quickly's crafty enough. We've seen him hit that early floater. You know, he can shoot it from the mid-range. It'll also open up the three ball for his teammates as well. Got to attack Fred. Love Fred, but you know he's one of them guys who can attack out there.
I got a story for you about attacking people when we get a chance. Quickly, second free throw, leaves it on the front rim, so he misses two. Or makes one of two, and it is 10-8 Houston, 7:20 first quarter in the white, right to left. Van Vliet all the way to the hoop, beat Quickly, no help. 12-8 Houston.
Houston running traditional horns action. Fred comes off of the flare and just attacks Quickly to the basket. Not enough help. Straight line drive.
Trent into the corner. Bruce Brown into the lane. Floats it up. No good. Rebound Brooks. Here comes Houston on the push. No numbers. Brooks drives it anyway. Lays it up. Blocked by Brown. And it goes out of bounds off Toronto. It'll stay with Houston.
Big time job by Brown. Not dying on the play, not giving up. As Dylan Brooks is in attack mode and trying to get to the rim.
So let's take a timeout. 6:53 first quarter, 12-8 Houston. You're listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050 Toronto.
From the executive producers of Band of Brothers and the Pacific.
We came from every corner of the country to bring the war to Hitler's doorstep.
Starring Academy Award nominee Austin Butler, Callum Turner, and Anthony Boyle.
You'll be in charge of 350 air crewmen, boys who have yet to experience combat.
Let's rack them up and knock them down. So what do you think the odds are? I'm gonna bet on anything. I'm gonna bet on us.
Masters of the Air, now streaming on Apple TV+. Subscription required for Apple TV+.
It was 1902 when an all-women's baseball team drew massive crowds in Toronto by challenging a local men's team to a series. Torontonians scaled rooftops and climbed trees to get a good view. For these women, winning a game was more than a battle of skill. It was a fight for respect on the field. Learn more local sports histories at Museum of Toronto's new exhibit, Winners and Losers, open until March 9th. If you're coming down for the All-Star game this weekend, find us at Richmond and Spadina. Visit museumoftoronto.com for details.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
There's no better way to drive home than with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog. Overdrive every weekday, 4 to 7 p.m. on TSN 1050.
Back in Houston, Rockets leading the Raptors 12-8, 6:53 first quarter. You heard from Jim Taddy, Josh Lewinberg, and Warren Ward in the pregame. Paul Jones, Javon Shepard here. Behind the glass, our producer, Owen Hall, and technical producer, Matthew Cardadero. Big night for Fred. You know, the Raptors gave him a chance when nobody else would. He parlayed that into a huge contract in Houston. And some people were sad to see him go, but Javon, we know the way this business works. Your earning power is limited.
Yep. And I'm always a fan of when, you know, it's sad to see guys go, but I'm always a fan when players take control of their
get that bag, baby.
Well. Get the bag. And you think about Fred at his size, how many people counted him out his entire career at Wichita State. He shouldn't be here and going undrafted and everything he's accomplished. This was the first time he could actually control his destiny. Go ahead, Fred.
12-8 Houston in the white, moving left to right with the ball. Green, step back, foul line, jumper, good. Youngster got it down. Josh Green on the board with two. 14-8 Houston. Raptors in the black, right to left. Quickly, Barnes, Pirtle back in the starting lineup along with Brown and Gary Trent Jr. Quickly, near side to Pirtle. Push shot in the lane, got it. Jakob with a floater from about 14 feet.
And that's where IQ has to be extremely aggressive. He uses that screen. If Fred is going to be trailing it, Şengün is going to have to step up. You drop it down to Pirtle like you just did there. Get Pirtle an easy one.
Şengün, like Jokic, also has the fakes and the flops. Shot fake there, a little bump by Pirtle, and Şengün looked like he'd been hit by a Muhammad Ali left hook. Didn't go down, but wobbled. I mean, looked like a major league player facing a curveball with that jelly leg. Zach Lowe on ESPN wrote an article on why scoring is up. You're seeing part of it there. Warren and I had the off-topic, off-air conversation this afternoon about it. I'm tired of the flopping. 17-10 Houston, 3 knocked down there by Dylan Brooks. Rockets with their biggest lead of the game at 7. Trent in the lane, rides it all the way to the hoop, hits by Amin Thompson, and gets fouled. Trent goes down, and the Raptors will inbound, sideline out of bounds, Thad Young into the game for Toronto. I'd love to get your thoughts, Javon, and we will at some point, about the embellishment, the flopping, just all of the guys are tough to guard now because of the combination of their skill and their theatrics. Trent, step back 3, no good. Rebound, Şengün. Here comes Houston. Green up the near side, right wing. Off to Şengün, back to Green. Screen and roll with Jabari Smith Jr. Green 3, no good. Saved by Schroeder to Quickly. Raptors down 7, 5:15 first quarter. Quickly, far corner to Thad Young, back to Quickly. In the lane, the floater up, no good. Rebound to Houston. Thompson brings it front court. Into the lane. The 1-2 step, floats it up and in with the left hand. Houston by 9, 19-10, 4:50 first quarter.
Well, that's why he's a 4th pick overall, right? 6'7", pushing that ball as a guard, gets to his left hand midair. Really skilled.
Brown on the drive into the lane, finds Thad Young, kicks it to the corner, quickly shot fake, step in, swing to Trent, 3-ball, got it in the bottom of the well right as the shot clock was expiring. Raptors cut the lead to 19-13. Here comes Houston front court. Smith off to Şengün between the rings. Drives on Thad Young, throws his head back, throwing his head back all the way through the lane. Was taking a bit of contact, laid it up and in, and he'll get one more. You know what? You're going to have to stop me before this game's over.
I'm not even going to let you get there because I can see it's going to be a frustrating night for you, for myself, but for the other 5 players on the floor as well, because if Şengün is making these moves, he's one of those guys that's in his move and throwing his head back and flailing, trying to get the ref's attention, 2, 3, 4 dribbles all the way to the basket. Like, talk about embellishment of a call, but I didn't see as much contact.
No, and that's the thing that bothers me, Javon. The offense is good enough as it is. You can't give them those calls also. Let's take a quick break. We'll expound more if we get a chance when we come back. 21-13 Rockets, 4:17 first quarter. You're listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050 Toronto.
Final call for the Air France Rendezvous. Until February the 6th, enjoy fares at the very best prices during the Air France Rendezvous and benefit from our 90 years of experience of in-flight fine dining, design and comfort. Our very best 90th anniversary fares have just landed. Book your flight to Florence starting at $890 return from Toronto, tax included. Elegance is a journey. Air France. Travel from January 24th to June 22nd or from September 18th to October 31st, 2024. See conditions at airfrance.ca.
The job market isn't changing. It's already changed. New technologies are creating new jobs and eliminating others. How can you prepare for this new world of work? With the York University School of Continuing Studies program. Our programs are developed with industry experts and enable you to upskill and reskill quickly. You'll also gain access to our career services to help pursue your ambitions. Get hired in fields like accounting, big data, cybersecurity, digital marketing, customer success management, and cloud ops. Learn more at continue.yorku.ca.
Life will be a struggle for Zoe. Zoe will not apply to post-secondary school because Zoe might not finish high school. Because Zoe can barely concentrate in grade school. Because every day Zoe goes to school, Zoe is hungry. Help keep food banks full. $16 donated to Feed Ontario can provide breakfast for a hungry child for 1 month. Learn how you can help at feedontariotogether.ca.
TSN 1050. Listen anywhere. Stream your favorite shows in your car. Available on Apple CarPlay via the iHeartRadio app. TSN 1050. Everywhere you want it.
Rockets leading the Raptors 21-13, 4:17 first quarter. J. Lou and Warren, you can ask Jim Taddy about the next guy I'm going to talk about. There was a defensive back for the San Francisco 49ers. Long, slender, angular, could cover, and his name was Merton Hanks. And when Merton made a big play, he had his own specific celebration where his arms were flapping and his neck was bobbing up and down. That's exactly what Şengün looks like dribbling the ball right now. Go and Google Merton Hanks celebration, and you will see what I'm talking about. Javon, I just can't take the fact that the league has gotten this soft, and we've talked about it before. I think we talked about it with Atlanta and Trae Young. I'm done with the playing for a call rather than the game. Free throw good by Şengün. 22-13. Houston in front. Schroeder back. Knocks in a jumper. Far side. Left baseline. 15 feet out. Schroeder cuts the lead to 22-15. Houston ball. Şengün in the lane. Puts his head down. Great pass to Thompson on the baseline. Thompson jams it down. 24-15, Rockets by 9. Largest lead of the game. Schroeder, stutter dribble into the lane. The runner up, no good. Rebound Şengün. Outlet. Here comes Jalen Green down the middle, lays it up and in. And all of a sudden, Houston has an 11-point lead at 26-15. Trent to Thad Young, back to Trent. Step back, elbow jumper near side, no good. Rebound tipped away. Here comes Houston. Cam Whitmore into the ball game. Up the near side, right wing to Şengün. Back to Whitmore. Top of the lane, jumper inside the arc, no good. Rebound to Trent. 11-point Houston lead. We go inside 3 minutes first quarter. Schroeder and the Raptors in black, right to left. Schroeder between the rings on the bounce. Works against Jayshawn Tate. Schroeder, three, no good. Rebound tipped up. Whitmore has it for Houston. He's in a dead sprint up the middle of the court, cut off by Grady Dick. Now they get it to Green. Near side, right wing. Into the lane, lays it up again like Fred. Froze the defense, no help, and all of a sudden Houston's up 13, 28-15.
Yeah, you can't allow a guy that's right-hand dominant, that much comfort getting downhill into the paint.
Thad Young, floater in the lane, got it, and a block. Şengün tried to take the charge after Thad Young had released, and the referee said, no, I got you for a block this time, young fella. He already had a foot in the restricted area. It might have been a charge, but his left heel clearly in the restricted area, and Thad Young's going to get a chance for a three-point play.
That's a good call. He's caught in a gray area there because Dennis Schroeder did a great job getting downhill. And Şengün was kind of caught between stopping the penetration and getting back to Thad Young. Great timing on the pass from Schroeder.
Thad misses the free throw. So back comes Houston, 28-17, 2 minutes. First quarter. Deep three up top, no good. Man, that thing almost cracked the backboard. Here comes Toronto. The miss was by Whitmore. Grady Dick into the lane. The floater by Grady, no good. Tipped away. Here comes Houston. Green up the near side. Into the lane. Floats it up, no good. Rebound knocked away. Whitmore has it, lays it up and in.
But these guys are aggressive. This is a young group. They're hungry. You can tell that they want to score baskets. Jalen Green just getting downhill, constantly putting pressure at you at the rim. And then you have guys pick up offensive rebounds.
Schroeder misses a three. 30-17. Houston largest lead of the game. 13 minute 15 to go. First quarter. Uncle Jeff Green backing in. Floats it up. No good. But he's fouled by one of two youngsters, either Grady or Scotty Barnes. They'll get it on Grady, and that'll send Jeff Green to the line.
Uncle Green is right on that play. Seen Scotty coming with the double team and just waited for him to come and got the ball in his arms below Scotty's and picked up the foul.
Uncle Jeff, 16 years in the league, only outdone by Thaddeus Young in 17. But what's remarkable is Jeff Green is a guy that underwent a heart procedure, and they weren't even sure he was going to
play ball,
make it, let alone play ball, Javon. You're right. And he's been such an important piece of so many teams. Makes free throws, 32-17, the lead, 15 for Houston. 1 minute to go, first quarter. Barnes on Van Vliet. Scotty backs in, floats it up, no good, but fouled by Fred. And Scotty will get a couple of free throws.
You knew right away when Scotty got that matchup and he saw Fred Van Vliet on his backside, that ball was not getting passed out. This is about Scotty showing Fred, listen, I got some work, small fry.
Free throw good by Barnes.
That's what you want Scotty to do on every play. Yeah. He's always going to have a mismatch, right? But you see a small defender on the floor, you got to just pick them out. You got the switch that you want, get them deep, low post position and get them in jail and just attack right away. As soon as he caught it, you could just see the hunger, the fire in his eyes that I want a bucket.
32-19. Free throws good for Barnes. Offensive foul as Cam Whitmore ran over Grady. Grady standing in, taking that one in the chest, falling backwards. No doubt about that one. Old school or not, that's how you take a charge, right in the chest.
He's been really good at that, right? Even there's been a number of times just the attempt, moving his feet, getting into right spacing, right positioning. But Cam Whitmore there, right? You don't have numbers. You got to pull that out and wait for your team to come in the half court with you.
Raptors in the black, right to left. Schroeder, Barnes, Young, Wara, and Grady Dick on the floor. Step back jumper, good by Schroeder, about 12 feet out in the lane. Raptors 4 straight, cut it to 32-21. Van Vliet back, deep three, good. Freddie goes 2 for 1, and Houston goes back up by 14, 35-21. 25 seconds first quarter. Here comes Barnes on the bounce against Jayshawn Tate. Backs him in, floats it up and in. Great move by Scotty. Here comes Houston. 10 seconds in the quarter. Tate on the bounce. Gets it to Van Vliet straight away against Schroeder. Fred works near side, right wing. Thad Young jumps out. Fred, step back, deep three. Got it right at the buzzer. Mitchell Irvin says no, toe is on the line. It's 2. Fred said, I'll take the bucket anyway.
Fred said, I'm here to make a statement. Got the 2 for 1, and now the last shot before, the quarter has Thad Young on ice on skates. That right sideline there. Great job, big time 3. But for Raptors right now, the quality of the shots, the quality of the offense has to be a little better, especially if you have Houston shooting 65%. I thought Scotty's mentality shifted in the last 2 minutes of the game, the last 2 minutes of the quarter there, where he's just attacking, right, finding matchups. And it's got to be that same type of mentality in the second quarter for the other 5 guys that are on the court as well.
First quarter was brought to you by Tangerine, official bank of the Toronto Raptors and their fans. You are listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050 Toronto. Second quarter when we come back, 37-23 Houston.
Does your furnace have a habit of breaking down as soon as it gets cold outside? And your plans for a relaxing night at home turn cold, along with your toes? Not good. Luckily, a highly trained licensed Intercare technician can get your furnace fixed fast. And what we quote is what you pay. So don't get left out in the cold. And right now, get a free diagnostic checkup, a $99 value. Get your furnace fixed right with Intercare. Terms and conditions apply. Give your home more at intercare.ca.
At Trillium Health Partners, we're ready to see you, not just as a patient, but as a person who needs innovative care with a human touch, a person with a life, with hopes, and with fears. At Trillium Health Partners, we'll see the whole you, our nurses, our doctors, and our staff. Because when we care for the whole person, our whole community gets stronger. Trillium Health Partners, we see you. Learn more at weseeyou.ca.
vacation with Norwegian Cruise Line, every day is a new day. Get a taste for Barcelona, then savor incredible dining back on board one day. Connect to ancient history in Athens, and then disconnect in our spa another day. Wherever the sea breeze takes you, come aboard and experience a different tomorrow with Norwegian. Visit ncl.com, call your travel advisor, or 1-888-NCL-CRUISE. Norwegian Cruise Line. Ships registry the Bahamas and USA.
The rest of my life gonna start today.
Making your lousy commute fun. Overdrive with Hayes Noodles and the O-Dog every weekday, 4 to 7 p.m. on TSN 1050.
Second quarter about to start. Second quarter brought to you by Alpine Credits. Do you own your home and need a loan? Alpine Credits can help. Get approved at alpinecredits.ca. The Rockets leading the Raptors 37-23 as they bring it front court from left to right in the white uniforms. Whitmore on the drive into the lane, lays it up and in. Cam Whitmore playing really solid ball for the Rockets lately. Gives them a 16-point lead, biggest of the game, at 39-23.
And to think, Whitmore only played 7 of the Rockets' first 30 games.
Yeah. Schroeder back for Toronto into the far corner. McDaniels back to Schroeder out there with Wara, Barnes, and Grady. Schroeder into the lane, lays it up and in. Nice move by Schroeder. Beat Jayshawn Tate, got it down left hand near side. Back comes Van Vliet. 39-25. Toronto down 14. Tate cross court. Whitmore catch and shoot three, no good. Rebound to Barnes. Scotty outlet to Schroeder. Up the near side. Tries to find Grady, who is cutting to the basket. Schroeder thought he was going to flare out. The pass went out. Grady went in. Turn it over and give it to Houston. So the Raptors trail by 14. And Houston turns it right back over to Toronto with an offensive foul. It'll go on Jeff Green.
If Jeff there setting the ram screen, Whitmore could go set it on the ball. Just moved, made the contact.
Schroeder down the baseline, far side, right wing. Raptors in the black, right to left. Schroeder on Van Vliet, far side, right wing. To McDaniels up top, his three no good. Rebound Thompson. The Twins, Osser and Amen Thompson. Both drafted in the first round. And Thompson there gets to the basket, lays it in with the left hand. 41-25 Houston. McDaniels turns it over for Toronto in the front court. Back comes Houston. Tate in the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound to Toronto. Here comes Wara. Great pass underneath to Grady. Shot fake and is fouled by Thompson. Grady, I don't know if they're going to give him shots, but he did a nice job running the floor and getting into the lane.
Yep, got his hands on this one. But Houston right now shooting 63% from the floor. And Jonesy, they're really not moving the ball much. What they're doing is they're getting over half, and the first person to touch it is in attack mode, trying to get to the rim. Skilled guys, but you got to be disciplined on the defensive end if you're Toronto.
Yeah. Wara misses the three. 9:50 first half, 41-25 Houston. In the lane, the ball is kicked. And Fred trying to tell Jenna Schroeder that he was fouled. Pirtle will check back in. 41-25 Houston, 9:47 first half. Rockets in the white, left to right. Van Vliet on the dribble, up top to Green. Now back to Fred, straight away between the circles. Works left, far side. Into the lane, down the baseline is Whitmore with a big jam. 43-25. Rockets push the lead to 18. And Javon, there's that awareness you were talking about.
And Warwick, he just got caught sleeping on that strong side, on that weak side there. Ball watching Fred working the ball screen. I thought Dennis Schroeder was doing a good job getting over the screen and forcing Fred to the left hand. Ward just fell asleep back door, and Whitmore aggressive, making that cut. Get you nice flashy two at that.
My Jamaican mother, if she ever caught me watching the ball, would say, "What are you looking at? Catch up your lip." Standing there with your mouth open, watching the wrong thing. That's what happened. Laura will sit down now. Bruce Brown back in. 43-25 as Scotty Barnes is on the free throw line. Second one in the air, also good, so 2 down for Scotty. Raptors trail, though, 43-27, 9:20 to go. First half. Here comes Houston. Thompson in the lane. Stops, kicks it out to Whitmore. Near side, right wing above the arc. Back to Van Vliet. Far side, up top. Smith, 3, no good. Rebound, McDaniels. Outlet Barnes, Scotty up the right side, far wing. Down low to Pirtle. And they got Jeff Green, had a whole handful of jersey. It looked like Jakob was going to lose that thing. The right side was coming off.
Well, that's 7'1", 245 that Jeff Green is trying to hold off. And Pirtle, smart, right? You see that you have a smaller defender on. You just ran right down the key, right down the paint, got his body on him, and Jeff didn't really have a choice.
Barnes kicks it out to Bruce Brown. Back to Scotty. Drives into the lane and jams it down. Scotty said to Jabari Smith Jr., take this with you. 43-29, Raptors cut it to 14. Thompson has it knocked away. Smith gets it. Pirtle jumps out on the switch. Now they get it to Van Vliet straight away. Into the lane. Whitmore, jump stop, puts it up, no good. Blocked from behind by, wow. It looked like Jalen McDaniels had a clean block. The ball was going the other way. And referee Ray Acosta said, no, I got a foul. I'd love to see that one again. Scotty really doing some damage, though, Javon, getting into the lane on the last possession.
Yeah, and he knew right away that Smith Jr. gives up about 25 pounds, and that left to right took it, gave him his left shoulder to eat and just attacked. And I like Scotty when he's in that mode right there, when he's looking at the opposing defender and saying, okay, I'm better than you, I'm stronger than you, I'm more athletic than you, I'm going to use my size. We've seen it earlier against Fred, and now you have a like-sized defender that gives up a couple pounds, and Scotty still found the advantage.
45-29 Houston. 8:15 first half. Barnes, far side, kicks it out. Open look at 3 for Schroeder, no good. Rebound to the Rockets. Great look for Dennis. He didn't have anybody within 5 feet. Green drives. Jeff Green floats it up, no good. Rebound McDaniels, and a late whistle. I mean, a late whistle. The rebound was already corralled. Darko standing, looking at referee Ray Acosta. Palms skyward, elbows bent. Saying, what? That's when a guy's standing in that position, it's never good.
I'm not sure about this one. Getting another look on the monitor, and Jeff Green.
It's a 2024 call, Javon. Back in the day, if your guy calls that in the schoolyard, you're saying no.
Well, offensively, he did the right thing by cutting off Pirtle, half of Pirtle's body, but that's just a play on. Pirtle took the contact, didn't break his plane, verticality.
To the old school basketball folks out there, if you're driving to the 10 and you're trying to avoid contact and you get fouled, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But when you're leaning in to create the contact while driving,
you've got to anticipate. Now you're anticipating.
Thank you.
Right, so I'm going to take that contact.
You've got to take some.
I'm actually going to use that contact as momentum to get to the basket.
Right. So when I throw you off with a little contact, you started it. Don't complain. 47-29, 18-point lead for Houston. Schroeder, elbow jumper, got it far side, 16 feet, right wing. 47-31, 7:40 to go. First half, Houston by 16. Jeff Green near side on Jalen McDaniels. Backs him in, kicks it out. Shot fake. Jalen Green, off balance jumper, no good. Standing rebound to Pirtle. Outlet Bruce Brown, up the middle of the court. Now backs it out, gives it to Schroeder. To Barnes, Scotty straight away. On Van Vliet with a switch, says, get out of here, I'm going to work. Gets into the lane on Fred, finds Schroeder, kicks it into the corner. Bruce Brown, 3, no good. Rebound kept alive by McDaniels, but it goes to Houston. Jalen Green on the drive, jams it down. Went around, Scotty dunked it down, and Darko wants a timeout. 7:01 to go, first half. 49-31 Houston. You're listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050 Toronto.
In Scarborough, there's this fire behind our eyes.
A passion in our bellies.
It's in the hearts of our neighbors.
The eyes of our nurses.
And the hands of our doctors.
It's what makes Scarborough, Scarborough.
In our hospitals, we do more than anyone thought possible, with less than anyone could imagine.
But it's time to imagine what we can do with more.
Join Scarborough Health Network, and together,
we can turn grit into greatness.
Donate at lovescarborough.ca.
Did you fix that leaky tap?
Uh-huh.
How about that loose doorknob?
Uh-huh.
Right now, we can get a free medium pizza from 2 for $1 Pizza.
Did somebody say free pizza?
See, it's not just the kids that have selective hearing.
Right now, get a free medium one-topping pizza with a minimum $25 purchase before tax and delivery. Limited time offer. Online orders only. Visit 2for1pizza.com and use coupon code FREEM.
Hey Raptor fans, what's better than the team winning on the court? A win for the kids and a win for you. When you play the MLSE Foundation 50-50 jackpot, you help communities get kids and youth off the sidelines and onto the court. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. Will you be a winner this season? Only one way to know. Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
TSN 1050. Listen anywhere. Stream your favorite shows on your smart speaker. Simply tell your smart speaker to listen to TSN 1050 everywhere you want it.
Back in Houston, Raptors trailing 49-31. Paul Jones, Javon Shepherd in 7:01 of clock time. At halftime, you'll hear from Jim Taddy, Warren Ward, and Josh Lewinberg. Behind the glass, producer Owen Hall, technical producer Matt Cardadero. As the Raptors, again, Javon, having the issue corralling, containing the defense, the offense of the other team. Houston shooting 61%.
Yeah, feet stuck in quicksand right now, looking at the numbers, and 26 points in the paint. And of those 26, Şengün only has 7, right? Jabari Smith has hit 2 threes from the perimeter. So that goes to show you they only have 4 fast break points, right? So that tells you that a lot of those buckets were just straight line drives and blow-bys to the basket, getting to the rim, getting under the basket. But credit Houston, right? And I was just texting with our producer Owen that they're aggressive. This team's extremely aggressive. They're getting it over half, and the first person to touch it, they're attacking. Now, are all the shots great? No, but they're extremely aggressive and young and hungry.
Quickly back into the game for Toronto. Out there with Pirtle, Brown, McDaniels, and Trent. Pirtle in the lane, lays it up and in. Nice job with Quickly. The two-man game. Jakob rides it to the hoop. 49-33. Raptors down 16. We approach the halfway mark, second quarter. Brooks up top. 6:25 to go till halftime. Kicks it to Jabari Smith Jr. On the bounce. Backs in. Back to Brooks. Dillon on quickly. Step back 3. No good. Shot clock running down. Here comes Toronto. Bruce Brown. Front court to Trent. Gary. Works to the top, kicks it to McDaniels. Dribble handoff quickly. Getting the screen from Pirtle. Works left, near side. Weaves back into the lane. All the way down the lane, lays it in with a change of speed. And they're going to wipe it out. They're going to call Pirtle with a moving screen as Quickly was on his hip. And that'll turn it over and give it back to Houston, leading 49-33.
Well, there was just a little confusion there because Quickly came off of the screen. You can see he wanted to snake the dribble back to the paint. And Pirtle was just trying to figure out, okay, am I driving to the basket, am I rolling to the basket, or am I cutting off your defender?
And Houston strikes quickly. The lead back to 18, largest it's been all night. Thompson with the bucket. Young Thompson has 8 off the bench for Houston. Rockets by 18. Raptors in the black, right to left. Trent into the lane. Elbow jumper near side, no good. Rebound Thompson. Hustles it up the middle of the floor. On the drive into the lane, lays it up and in. Amin Thompson gives Houston a 20-point lead, 53-33. Raptors got to hold on to the rope right now.
Yeah, you've got to stop these guys above the break, right? Because if they get anywhere close to that three-point line, anywhere close to the break inside, they're getting into the paint.
Şengün on the dribble, into the lane on Bruce Brown, up and in. Another timeout by Darko. Houston's blown this thing open. They're up 22 at 55-33.
Just too easy, right? 62% on the floor. And Houston is plus 11, in rebounds. So in the rebounding category. So that's just right there, just a measure of the aggression from both teams tonight. And Houston, they came out to play. They came out to ball.
Well, they are. The Raptors got to pick it up right now. 55-33. Houston leading Toronto 4:54 first half. Let's take a break. This is Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050 Toronto.
Unhibernate. Verb. To laugh in the face of snow because you drive a Subaru. As in, when I unhibernate, I have the roads all to myself because my Subaru has symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and others don't. Or, the award-winning safety in my Subaru means I can unhibernate all winter while my neighbors stare longingly from their bedroom windows. Or my favorite usage. I am going to unhibernate this winter by visiting my local Subaru dealer today. Welcome to Uncommon Winter Confidence.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Ron is a teacher helping bright minds, but this time he needed help. Alpine Credit sent a cosmic superhero with a debt consolidation loan. She conjured a magic book, Debt Consolidation 101. Lesson 1, consolidate debt into one low monthly payment. Lesson 2, nothing. It's a short book. Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Fiscal license 12616.
The traditional sales style of show up and throw up, selling features and benefits of what you sell, is old and ineffective. The way to engage people is not to get them looking outward to your product, but inward to their problems. In the first scenario, they view you as selling. In the second example, they sell themselves, or better discover they want what you have. I'm Randy Hanatko, founder of Train West Management and Consulting. If you're deadly serious about improving your sales and leadership skills, go to trainwest.ca to learn how. That's trainwest.ca.
First up with Korolnik and Koliakovo. Weekday morning 6 till 10 on TSN 1050.
You ain't first, you're last.
Well, it's been a punch in the face by the Rockets right now. Houston leading Toronto 55-33, shooting 61% from the floor. And the Raptors really struggling, just containing Houston and stopping them. It's not the turnovers. It's not any of that. Houston badly out-rebounding Toronto 22-11, and we know what that's like when a team's out-rebounded.
Listen, it's just keeping the ball in front of you, right? Guarding your yard. And it simply put, because right now, Houston's not even running any offense, right? They don't need to. They're getting the ball over half, one pass attack.
Raptors back. Barnes drives into the lane. The off-balance floater, no good. Contested by Dillon Brooks. Back comes Houston. Şengün brings it front court. Kicks it out top. Jabari Smith, three, no good. Rebound, Thad Young. High for the rebound. Back comes Toronto. Quickly. Front court. Gets it to Thad Young. Back to Quickly. Against Dillon Brooks to Thad Young. Straight away, Young, dribble handoff. Gets it to Bruce Brown. Into the lane, Brown, 12-footer up, no good. Yes, it is good. Looked like it was going to roll off the left edge and caught a friendly piece of iron and went through the twine.
He created some space there created a gap between him and Jalen Green, so he had all the time when he landed on two to get his floater up. Nice touch around the rim.
Şengün drives. Bruce Brown says, give me that. Rips it away from him. Back comes Toronto. Barnes up top. Quickly, three straight away. Good. Down the bottom of the well for IQ. The Raptors cut the lead to 55-38. 3:30 to go. First half. Raptors on a 5-0 run until Jalen Green drives, reverse layup, and lays it in. Houston by 19, 57-38. Quickly, far side, right wing. On the dribble, gets it to Bruce Brown up top. Brown drives into the lane, finds Scotty. He gets into the lane, finds Brown to Thad Young underneath, lays it up and in. Man, tic-tac-toe passing, all in that restricted area. Raptors get the deuce. Jabari Smith Jr. spins on quickly on the baseline, kicks it up top. Brooks to Smith, cut off by Barnes. His pass deflected by Scotty. Raptors get the turnover. Here comes Scotty into the lane, finds quickly. 57-40 Houston, 2:40 first half. Quickly on the dribble, gets it back to Brown. Bruce Brown drives, lefty layup, no good. Trent follows and lays it in. Raptors cut it to 15. 57-42. 9-2 run for Toronto. Jabari Smith Jr. near side, right wing. Houston in the white, left to right. Şengün backs in, double comes underneath, finds Thompson with the dunk. Great pass, great cut by Thompson.
Great timing on the pass. Şengün seen the double team coming by Thad Young on that from the top side, just made a great play.
Quickly three, no good. Long rebound to Toronto. Quickly gets it back, finds Brown. Bruce Brown drives, floats it up, no good, no foul. Rebound Şengün. His eighth. Here he comes, front court. Finds Smith, who lays it up and in. 61-42, the Rockets back up by 19.
Bruce Brown on the other end, tough night for him thus far, right? 1 for 7 from the floor, but he's made some strong attacks at the rim, just really hasn't gotten any calls. But on the other end, you have Şengün pushing the ball the length of the floor, and on his spin, on his move, still has the ability and the concentration to give that pass, to drop that pass off to Smith Jr. down the paint, right? That's the luxury that Udoka has with both of these guys right here. Smith Jr. can, he can shoot a bit from the perimeter, but also lengthy and athletic. And Şengün really good at being aggressive, attacking, but also the ability to make passes, make plays on the move.
Smith on the line, free throw is good. Rockets go back up by 20, 62-42, minute 40 to go, first half. Raptors in the black, right to left. Far side, right wing, quickly into the lane. Kicks it out to Brown. Now to Schroeder, he drives. Pass into the corner, quickly has it stripped by Van Vliet. Here comes Dylan Brooks. Up the near side, right wing. On the bounce, waves off. Jalen Green says, I got Schroeder. Finds Şengün. Mid-post, near side, drives into the lane. Loses the ball, picks it up, floats it in. Houston back up by 22, 64-42. Barnes up top for Toronto. Drives on Brooks. Floats it up, score it, and a foul. They got Brooks with the body bump. With the chest, Scotty will get a chance for an old-time three-point play. Raptors need a whole lot more of that. As right now, they trail Houston 64-44.
Yeah, they're going to need more of that, but they're also going to need some stops on the defensive end as well, right? Because you're going to put so much more pressure on your offense to produce at a high clip if you can't keep these guys in front of you.
Here comes Thompson up the near side. Jalen Green now between the rings. On the bounce, near side. Step back three off the dribble, no good. All Raptors on the glass. Scotty Barnes has it. Here comes Toronto, front court. Barnes all the way to the hoop, lays it up and in, near side with the left hand. Raptors quickly cut it to 17, 64-47. 30 seconds, first half. Van Vliet to Şengün, near elbow. Double comes, they swing it, far side. Brooks got away with the walk into the lane, lays it up and in. Raptor coaching staff really upset that there was no travel called. 66-47, 15 seconds, first half. Quickly over the midcourt line. IQ on the bounce, game clock at 10. On the dribble, far side, gets into the lane. Elbow jumper in the air, no good. Rebound to Green, and that's the way the half ends. 66-47, Houston. They were in control through the entirety of the half.
In control, but I'll tell you this much, Jonesy. Houston's also a team, and you can see by the quality of shots that they take, tough shots, difficult shots, they're also a team that'll let you back in this game, right? So Toronto Raptors just stay disciplined, come out in the second half and just be a split second faster than they were in the first half and keep these guys in front of you. And I mentioned earlier, just playing defense before, any of the guards of Houston get to the break. Because if they get there, they're going to be in attack mode. They're going to try and get downhill.
Halftime, Jim Taddy, Warren Ward, Josh Lewenberg up next. Houston in the lead over the Raptors. Halftime when we come back. You're listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050 Toronto.
Final call for the Air France Rendezvous. Until February the 6th, enjoy fares at the very best prices during the Air France Rendezvous and benefit from our 90 years of experience of in-flight fine dining, design and comfort. Our very best 90th anniversary fares have just landed. Book your flight to Paris starting at $855 return. From Toronto, tax included. Elegance is a journey. Air France. Travel from January 24th to June 22nd or from September 18th to October 31st, 2024. See conditions at airfrance.ca.
A big win and a bigger impact. When you play the MLC Foundation 50-50 jackpot, you support the kids and the future Raptors of tomorrow. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. Will this season include you? The only way to find out is if you play. Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
Good morning. Baby, it's a brand new day.
Experience a different tomorrow with Norwegian Cruise Line. Book today and get 50% off your cruise to Alaska, Europe, and beyond. Plus, everyone can enjoy their vacation with free unlimited open bar, free specialty dining, and more. Visit ncl.com, call your travel advisor, or 1-888-NCL-CRUISE. Offer ends soon. Norwegian Cruise Line. Ships registry the Bahamas and USA. Restrictions apply.
The rest of my life gonna start today.
Welcome, families. This is your Viamone pre-boarding invitation to a first-class and free French education. The Viamone French Language School Board is proud to be awarded the highest success rate in the most recent provincial tests. Your elementary open house boarding is on now. So please visit csviamone.ca to select your first-class tour. Welcome aboard. Conseil scolaire Viamone.
Whatever the weather, CMC Markets is here to help. Planning for a rainy day? Enjoy $0 commission on U.S. and Canadian share CFDs. Riding out the storm? Get ahead of the curve with lightning-fast execution speeds. Blue skies ahead? Go with the trusted broker backed by over 30 years experience. Switch to CMC Markets and join over 275,000 global traders. Learn more at cmcmarkets.ca. FX spreads apply. CFDs involve a high degree of risk. Member Canadian Investor Protection Fund. Umbrella not included.
There's no escaping it, whether your business is local, regional, or global. In today's faster-paced and more complex business environment, management and leadership skills are fundamental to success. Business owners must lead their organization, sales managers must lead their sales teams, and sales professionals must lead their clients and prospects. For over 18 years, Train West Management and Consulting has helped business professionals develop, expand, and refine their management and sales skills. If you're deadly serious about improving your skills, go to trainwest.ca.
Tangerine Raptors basketball is on TSN 1050. The Raptors live here.
And down 66-47 at the half in Houston. Welcome to Raptors at the half. Jim Taddy, Warren Ward, and Josh Lewenberg with you. And Warren, that was a struggle, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Toronto got out rebounded. I mean, I told you before the game started, the Raptors need to get off to a good start offensively, and I didn't think they got off to a poor start. I think Houston turned it on. Towards the end, they ended up with 37 points, and they kind of set the tone. But it's just attacking the rim, and Toronto just unable to keep the ball in front of them. And you see the amount of dunks and just easy layups and easy attempts at the rim. I mean, they just have – it's a young and athletic team, and Asur Thompson, asserting himself, getting to the rim. And Fred is not the quickest in the world in terms of, getting downhill. But you look at you look at Jalen Green going to the basket, it's pretty much unstoppable, and they're all shooting pretty, good percentages. Asur Thompson 6 for 6 in this game already thus far, and 5 rebounds. So you just add those two things together, it's a recipe for disaster, and that's why Houston has 66 points and Toronto struggling to get things going offensively. And if you can't keep anyone, out of the paint, you're putting a lot of pressure, on your defense and your offense.
Yeah, pretty remarkable stat right here. The Rockets have nearly as many points from inside of 4 feet. 42 points as the Raptors have from anywhere, 47 points. It speaks to what Warren was talking about. The Rockets just getting to the rim at will. They're 21 for 26 at or around the rim. It's a bit surprising, not necessarily that this is happening to the Raptors, because of course that's been an issue now for the last few weeks, is opponent paint points and opponent field goal percentage around the rim. But of course, Jakob Poeltl has been out for 11 games. Now, Poeltl is back, and granted, he's playing limited minutes. He's on a minute restriction, and he's clearly working his way back, getting back into condition. But it is surprising, with your rim protector on the floor for 11 minutes in the first half, that this is still an issue. But with all of that said, and this is an important point here, is that it can't just be on Poeltl. No, he hasn't done a great job at protecting the rim, but at the same time, there's a reason why all these Rocket players are getting to the rim at full speed, going at Poeltl, or in some cases just wide open in general. And it's that the Raptors' perimeter defense has been nowhere good enough. They're not keeping guys in front of them, and as a result, whether it's Jalen Green or Thompson, Brooks towards the end of the half, you can go down the list. Pretty much everyone for the Rockets is contributing in that way. Guys are getting great looks at or around the rim, and Poeltl, the rest of the Raps, aren't doing enough to stop them.
Outside shooting not helping the Raptors at 3 of 16 and the Rockets at 4 of 13. But Warren, to continue what Josh was saying there, I mean, when you deal with the Raptors, you look at the offense and say it's struggling, but the defense is too, and one repairs the other, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And the defense has to be there for the Raptors. They have to keep people outside of the paint, and if they can't do that, it's going to be really tough for them to go on and defend and have a shot at winning this game. We've seen the Raptors come back before, but it starts on the defensive end, and then that will alleviate a bit of the pressure. I mean, Houston, as I said, in the beginning of the game, they're very good at home defensively, and they've shown that. They're young, they're athletic, they can switch multiple positions. You see Scotty Barnes driving to the rim, he's getting bumped by Brooks quite often. So all of those things being said, and it's the little things. You see Houston get out and run in transition. You got Sungun running the ball up the court himself as a 5-man. So, they have the versatility, to do that. And with the athletes they have, they can space the floor. So the Raptors have to key in defensively, maybe be a bit tougher and just fight. That's really all you can do. And then do that each possession and try and get back in the game and get a little bit of a rhythm going offensively. Right now, they don't have any of that.
Yeah, Warren, I'm happy you mentioned toughness, because for me, that's been a big difference maker in the first half. The Rockets go out over the offseason and add Fred VanVleet. They add Dylan Brooks. I mean, even Jeff Green, the idea, of course, is to bring some toughness, physical and mental toughness, to a very young team. And you can see it just watching them play, whereas the Raptors are not playing with that same level of physicality on either end of the floor, really. They're not playing with the level of force that you need, especially on the road, especially against a good young team that's trending up in Houston, that, as you mentioned a few times as well, it plays really well at home. So that's where it has to start here. I mean, if you're the Raptors, you can't be too happy about how you're playing on either end of the floor. I mean, certainly shooting 19% from 3 for 16 isn't going to cut it. Offensively, they haven't been great either, but it's got to start on the defensive end, and it's got to start at the rim. They've got to find a way to keep the Rockets on the perimeter and force some tough shots.
The easy analysis is, two guys back in the starting rotation, and guys that were starting are back on the bench and in the depth chart and coming off the bench and contributing. But there seems to be a gap in terms of the guys that were injured coming back and picking up their game, and the guys that were sent back to the bench figuring out what they're going to do. Why is that so difficult?
Well, rotations. I mean, you got minutes that are different now, and just being on the floor changes things. You got guys that are out of rhythm, guys that are in rhythm. It definitely changes the complexity. I mean, if you're running up the floor and you're used to seeing one person and someone else is there, all those little things, they affect their performance, and it's a bit of a struggle. It's not an excuse, but it is a reality, right? I mean, you're as lineups change and as different people play with one another that haven't before, things take time, and mistakes are a byproduct of that. So, it's something that you have to adapt to and roll with the punches. But these guys are pros, so they're used to it. But Taddy, that is a reality. When things are different and players aren't used to being on the floor game by game, things can change. It does affect the outcome of the game.
Yeah, this happens sometimes, not entirely unusual. Obviously, you want your guys back, and it's a good thing that Quickly and Pirtle are back in the lineup. But I think this group sort of found something over the last couple games. They were playing undermanned, undersized, and guys that weren't really in the rotation were getting opportunities, taking advantage of it, and just playing really hard. And I don't want to say that there's like complacency now, but I do think when you have some of your guys back in the lineup, maybe there's a tendency to take the foot off the gas or a little bit, or as Warren mentioned, like you're kind of figuring out rotations once again. It's almost like you're going back to the drawing board. And remember, this is a Raptors team that's had a lot of change and could have some more change coming up over the next week. That takes its toll here a little bit. It's not an excuse, but it's something that you've got to deal with on the fly. But one way or the other, like I said, like the force, the intensity, the level of focus, that's got to be there regardless of who's on the floor and who's not on the floor. It was there against Atlanta the other night. It was there against Chicago in the comeback win, and it's got to be there again tonight in the second half if they're going to get a comeback win tonight in Houston.
The Raptors' first half stat is brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealers. Unhibernate. Redefine winter fun with Subaru's all-weather capability. Visit your local Subaru dealer and welcome to uncommon winter confidence. And the number that jumps off the page, Josh alluded to it earlier, points in the paint, Houston 42 and the Raptors 28. And the other one is the score, 66-47 for the Rockets. This is Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050.
Final call for the Air France Rendezvous. Until February the 6th, enjoy fares at the very best prices during the Air France Rendezvous and benefit from our 90 years of experience of in-flight fine dining, design and comfort. Our very best 90th anniversary fares have just landed. Book your flight to Malaga starting at $870 return from Toronto, tax included. Elegance is a journey. Air France. Travel from January 24th to June 22nd or from September 18th to October 31st, 2024. See conditions at airfrance.ca.
Let's get jerseys. Let's get jerseys.
Right now, become a Tangerine client with a savings account and you could get a free Raptors jersey.
We want jerseys.
Finally, a savings account worth cheering for.
Jerseys. Jerseys.
Find out how to score a jersey at tangerine.ca/Raptors. Tangerine. That's forward banking. Available to new clients who open and fund an eligible account while supplies last. Conditions apply.
At LG Home Comfort, we make comfortable affordable. In addition to great deals on heat pumps, furnaces, ACs, water heaters, softeners, and purifiers, LG Home Comfort is Canadian-owned and operated and focuses on exceptional service with expert installation by our trained technicians. LG Home Comfort will make sure you cash in on every rebate and finance option you're eligible for. Call us today to book a free in-home consultation or visit lghomecomfort.ca.
This is the sound of medicine. When you stay at a Ronald McDonald House, close to your sick child, family is medicine. And right now, it's helping Ryan battle leukemia. We need your help to keep families together. Please donate today at rmhc.ca.
TSN 1050. Listen anywhere. Stream us on iHeartRadio, the TSN app, or on Apple CarPlay. TSN 1050. Everywhere you want it.
Well, second half about to get going. Raptors trailing 66-47. And Javon, time to mount a charge if you're the Raptors. We heard Warren, Josh, and Jim talking about it. Got to start on the defensive end. I mean, Houston got that percentage looking like a Paul Jones, at the high end of a Paul Jones grade school math test. 61%. Good for me, not good for some people, but math-wise, for the Raptors, it is a problem. And they've got to do something to slow down this Houston offense.
Yeah, and here's the thing. They're not shooting the basketball well from three, only 80%, 3 for 16. But you can control the quality of shots that you get. You can't control shots going down. What you can control is defensive effort, right? And coming out of this half, you've got to have more, got to be more intentional there. Haven't started the best, right? Isn't the first play, the first action out. Dylan Brooks getting a split action to the basket, foul, and going to get a chance at 2. But to my point, it's just really effort and, really stopping this team in the open court because, like I mentioned before we cut to break, right, their feet are moving.
Yeah.
Ball's getting downhill, and like you're saying, they're playing as if the court's on a tilt. So really got to slow these guys down in the open court and force them to play half-court basketball.
Third quarter delivered by 2-for-1 Pizza. Get a free medium one-topping pizza with $25 minimum purchase before tax and delivery. Online orders only. Visit 2for1pizza.com and use coupon code FREEM like mozzarella. Well, Dylan Brooks has given Houston a 20-point lead, 67-47. Pirtle in the lane, the floater up and in for the Raptors. In the black, coming across your dial from left to right. 18-point lead for Houston. Let's see if the Raptors can get some stops. Şengün in the lane says no, sir. Floats it up and in from Van Vliet. 69-49 Houston.
Şengün has really good touch around the basket. Van Vliet with the delivery on the bounce pass, and he just puts it up, tosses it up. Nice touch.
Pirtle drives into the lane, pitches it to the far side left wing. Scotty was looking for a post-up, and it's a turnover out of bounds to Houston.
Good job by Toronto taking care of the basketball. Only 4 turnovers tonight.
Jalen Green drives, reverse layup, up and in.
Straight line, crafty, right, blows by the defense, uses body and his backside to shield himself, and finish on the left side with the left hand.
He's got 12. Houston up 22, 71-49. Quickly. Floater in the lane, no good. Back comes Houston. Van Vliet to Şengün into the corner. Green, 3, no good. Rebound, airball, Barnes. Long outlet to Trent. Up court, Gary lays it up and in. Toronto down 20, 71-51.
Great advancement of the basketball by Scotty Barnes, just over his head and just throws it the length of the floor to Gary Trent Jr.
Şengün, 3 out top, no good. Long rebound, Jabari Smith Jr.
That's not his game. Only 28% on the season.
Jalen Green, fall away, no good. Rebound tipped away. Houston has it. Smith lays it up and in.
Good follow by Smith, but this is the problem that they've had with Jalen Green is that the inconsistency in his offense, right? He's a volume guy. The last 2 shots, terrible shots for him.
Raptors come back quickly, cut the lead to 73-53. Barnes makes the layup. Brooks back in the lane, floats it up, no good. Out of bounds, off Brooks. And no, they're going to change it, say it hit a Toronto player. Barnes and Pirtle were both there. Hit a Raptor leg, out of bounds. 9:41, third quarter. Houston by 20, 73-53. And they've got a technical foul called.
Technical on Dylan Brooks.
And that will go on Dylan Brooks.
You could see it coming. Right, you could see it coming. He thought he got fouled on the last attack.
And he came down, looked like he was piggybacking on Pirtle. And Brooks going to take the technical. Thad Young in. Jakob Pirtle out. Only 13 minutes so far tonight for Jakob. Van Vliet in the corner, near side to Şengün. Back to Fred, near side, left wing, 3 in the air, good. 76-53. Biggest lead of the game by Houston at 23. Trent into the lane, step back jumper, no good, near side. Houston up the near side, leading by 23, looking for more. Green into the lane, bounces off Young, floats it up and in, and a foul. Jalen Green going to go to the line for the old-time three-point play. The lead is 25 for the Rockets. Scorching. Timeout, Darko Rajakovic, 78-53, Houston, 9:15, third quarter. This is Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050, Toronto.
Did you fix that leaky tap?
Uh-huh.
How about that loose doorknob?
Uh-huh.
Right now, we can get a free medium pizza from 2-for-1 Pizza.
Did somebody say free pizza?
See, it's not just the kids that have selective hearing.
Right now, get a free medium one-topping pizza with a minimum $25 purchase before tax and delivery. Limited time offer. Online orders only. Visit 2for1pizza.com and use coupon code FREEM.
There are many peculiar words in the English language. Words like salivigant, peregrinate, nemophilus, peripatetic, and conviviality. Yet, there is no word for getting the most out of winter in your Subaru, thanks to symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and X-Mode. Until now. We call it unhibernate, as in while your neighbors stay home, you'll be unhibernating all winter in your Subaru. So peregrinate to your local Subaru dealer today, and welcome to uncommon winter confidence.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Sandra and Kabir are celebrating 50 years of marriage by turning their boring bedroom into a spicy one. Oh my. Alpine Credit sent a super strength hero to help with a home renovation loan. New floors, windows, a heart-shaped button that plays this tune. Okay, I think that's quite enough. Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
Overdrive, Toronto's favorite way to drive home. Weekdays 4 to 7 on TSN 1050.
It has been that kind of night for the Toronto Raptors as the Houston Rockets taking it to them with both barrels. 78-53 Houston, 9:15 third quarter. And every time the Raptors look like they put a little run together, get it down to 17-16 and a glimmer of hope, Houston punches back a little harder, Javon.
Yeah, right now they're, you can just see in the way the guys are attacking that they just believe that they're going to make every shot right now. 50 points in the paint, shooting 60% from the floor. And they really haven't even shot the three ball well, but it's in attack mode and winning the rebounding battle. And you and I always talk about that being a measure of how aggressive you are.
Yeah.
And they're definitely in control and coming out of the half as well.
All right, let's see if Toronto can do anything to right the ship. Houston with a big lead right now, 25 points.
And of their 32 made baskets, only 14 have been assisted on. So that just tells you how much one-on-one there is. It's just, okay, I'm going to get to the rack. I'm going to get what I want off the dribble, off the bounce.
Bruce Brown, deep three, got it down the bottom of the well for Bruce Brown. 78-56. Raptors down 22. Do they have a comeback in them with 8:50 to go, third quarter? Van Vliet to Jabari Smith Jr. inside to Şengün, lays it up and in. That's a great pass by Smith Jr.
Yeah, that textbook steal by Şengün.
Quickly, near side. Step back, three, sidestep two at least, long two, no good, rebound Van Vliet. Freddie up the middle of the court now veers over to the right side. Houston in white, right to left. Jabari Smith Jr., elbow jumper, no good. Rebound, Bruce Brown. Front court, here comes Toronto. Brown all the way to the basket, has it knocked away, but a fortuitous bounce into the arms of Scotty Barnes, who lays it in. 80-58 though. Dylan Brooks back. Reverse layup, no good. Rebound to Bruce Brown. Front court comes Toronto. Barnes up top to Schroeder. Top of the key, got Brooks on the switch. Now to Barnes. Scotty spins in the lane, floats it up, no good. Thad Young takes it down. Kicks it to Quickly. 3 up top, no good. Long rebound, run down. Brown has it, and it goes out of bounds. Bruce Brown tried to throw it back in, and it hit his leg. The other referee thought it hit Fred's leg, but it will indeed, and should rightfully so, be Houston ball. Only one Raptor in double figures tonight. Scotty Barnes has 20. Front court, here comes Houston. Brooks in the lane. Pass knocked away by Bruce Brown. Great defense. Here comes Toronto. Quickly drives, floats it up, no good, but he's fouled. And he's going to get a couple of free throws. Good counterattack there by Toronto. A quick one.
Come up with the steal. Great job on the defensive end, right? Horns action and trying to get Dylan Brooks on the duck in. Come up with that ball and quickly on the other end. Came up a little gingerly after the play there.
Well, let's see if he can knock down free throws. 7:22 third quarter. 80-58. Houston in the lead. Quickly misses the first free throw.
Yeah, he's been out for a couple games and 2 for 10 on the night. You can see just still got to get that rust dusted off. 4 assists.
Quickly takes the bounces. Second free throw up and in. Here comes Houston front court leading by 21, 80-59. Deep three, Jabari Smith, no good. Rebound to Bruce Brown. Here come the Raptors. Brown in the lane to Thad Young. Throws it up and in with the left hand. Thad had his back to the baseline and threw it up over his head near side right wing. Right box. 80-61. Raptors have cut it to 19. Jalen Green, far side, right wing. Houston and White, right to left. Inside, Şengün. Shot fake, lays it up and in. Another easy bucket, Javon, right under the cup.
Yeah, he's so good at just 15 points for him, but he's so good at just using angles, using his body, using his mass, and cutting off the defense.
Scotty misses the layup, gets it back, lays it up and in. And the Raptors kind of hanging in. Scotty hit in the face as he walks to the bench. Timeout on the floor. Let's take a break. Raptors trailing 82-63, 6:28. Third quarter. You're listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050 Toronto.
You've heard that sound before. A basketball going off the backboard and in. A bank shot. Well, that's actually the sound of a fan winning a Raptors jersey. That's the sound of a fan getting a signed Raptors basketball. And that's a fan scoring tickets to the NBA Finals. With the Tangerine Bank Shot contest, every bank shot the Raptors score this season wins a fan a prize. Enter for a chance to win at tangerine.ca/bankshot. Tangerine, that's forward banking.
March 7th. If you are a First Nations individual impacted by a long-term drinking water advisory, your claim must be submitted by March 7th, 2024. You can find out if you are eligible, find support, and submit your claim, all by March 7th, 2024, and all at firstnationsdrinkingwater.ca.
From the executive producers of Band of Brothers and the Pacific.
We came from every corner of the country to bring the war to Hitler's doorstep.
Starring Academy Award nominee Austin Butler, Callum Turner, and Anthony Boyle.
You'll be in charge of 350 air crewmen, boys who have yet to experience combat.
Let's rack them up and knock them down. So what do you think the odds are? I'm gonna bet on anything. I'm gonna bet on us.
Masters of the Air, now streaming on Apple TV+. Subscription required for Apple TV+.
There's no better way to drive home than with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog. Overdrive, every weekday, 4 to 7 p.m. on TSN 1050.
Paul Jones, Javon Shepard. Back in our Toronto studios, Raptors trailing the Rockets 82-63, 6:28 to go. Third quarter. And the Raptors need to mount a charge here, as they are down by 19. They've trailed by as many as 25, Javon, and just kind of hovering around that mark all night. You got to put your foot down and make a run.
That run has to come in the next 6 minutes of this third quarter here.
Well, let's see if they can find something to make that run.
Houston's, attacking a little different right now. First half was a bit more of the guards and them penetrating the open court. Now they've shifted to getting the ball to Şengün and just using him in the post-up actions. And he's doing a good job getting deep, low post positioning, using his back, using angles. And, crafty player, just 21 years old. All 255 of him, 255 pounds, he's using it.
Van Vliet falls to the ground. Schroeder ties him up. They wrestle for the ball. Schroeder has it tied up and wrapping it up. Fred picks up the ball and subsequently picks up quickly with the ball, or Schroeder with the ball, who is clutching it like somebody who's recovered a fumble in football. I mean, his arms, his knees are bent. He's piked at the waist. Somewhere a coach is saying, hey, man, treat it like money. And Schroeder's not letting go of the money. And both of those guys are two scrappy guys. There's kind of a little more to that than just the jump ball.
When you have a ball that's loose and both guys get tied up on the floor, it becomes a pride thing. Nobody wants to let it go because now I'm letting you
get the ball.
You're not going to outmuscle me.
And now we got a jump ball between Schroeder and Van Vliet. Schroeder wins it. Raptors bring it front court. Barnes into the lane, kicks it out. Quickly, three, got it in the bottom of the well. Raptors capitalize quickly off Schroeder winning the jump ball. 82-66, 10-2 run. The last 2:03 for the Raptors. Van Vliet to Green in the lane. The pass deflected. Şengün gets it. Oh, looked like he got away with a walk. Dribbles on the baseline, floats it up and in. 84-66. Schroeder back for Toronto. Pirtle on the elbow. Finds quickly, coming near side, and Van Vliet runs over Schroeder. And Schroeder stands up quickly and has something to say to Fred. Fred walks away. Schroeder puts his hand on his chest. And Dylan Brooks interceding. Schroeder, the veteran, looking past Dylan like, I'm not talking to you. Fred, though, did lay that left arm on Schroeder as he came over the screen. Raptors down 18, 84-66, 5:33 to go. Third quarter. Quickly gets it to Schroeder up top. Quickly back into the lane, finds Pirtle, floats it up, no good. Rebound, Dylan Brooks. Outlet Şengün on the run. All the way to the hoop. Throws it up, blocked easily. Şengün flopping. I'm sorry, I can't watch that. That was meant to do everything but score a basket and get a foul.
Yeah. Well, one, he got the ball at half, right? Now you have your center pushing the basketball, and he was trying to find the contact whole way to the basket. Pirtle, tremendous job recovering and blocking the shot.
Well, Şengün, for his trouble, got a technical foul. And I don't know, I didn't see a signal for the flop or for the stem. So it must have been what he had to say, maybe using a few magic words. That was not a foul, son. I'm sorry to say. 84-67, 17-point lead for Atlanta. Raptors trying to chip away. Şengün in the lane. Kicks it out. Green drives down the near baseline. Back up top, Jabari Smith. Pull-up jumper over Grady. No good. Great defense by Grady. Rebound, Schroeder. in the lane to Barnes. Scotty floats it up, no good. Bumped by Şengün. And Scotty's going to go to the line for 2. And what do you know? The Raptors have a chance to cut it to 15.
Energy plays, right? That play after, quickly won the jump ball. Or Schroeder, rather, won the jump ball with Fred. You get a 3 after that, and everything starts to roll a bit more, right? The energy plays, everybody picks it up. Good job here by Scotty running the floor based on the baseline. Schroeder, taking that extra dribble to the right side to have the defense focus on him a bit more, and you dropping it down to one of the best finishers on the team.
First free throw by Scotty. Up and down. Second one also good. Give Barnes 24 on the night. 7 of 8 from the stripe. But more importantly, the Raptors have cut the lead to 84-69. They've cut 10 points off that 25-point lead. Green drives, floats it up. No good. Thompson drives and floats it up, no good, but he's fouled, knocked to the ground. He'll get a couple of free throws. 13-4 run by the Raptors over the last 3-13 has them, maybe within smelling distance right now.
Thompson going to the line for his first throws of the night. He's had a perfect night up until now. Missed the first one.
Yeah, free throw no good. He and his brother taken back-to-back in the NBA draft. Second one good.
To see why, though.
Oh, yeah. They're both terrific athletes. What potential, Javon.
You really see why.
Barnes in the lane, kicks it out. Raptors swing it. Schroeder, 3, no good. Rebound. Here comes Jalen Green. 85-69 Houston. 4:30 to go, third quarter. Brooks drives. They get it to Şengün. Free throw line. Spins in the lane, floats it up, no good. 85-69 Şengün will go to the line for 2.
For everybody that obviously can't see us because we're in radio in the studio right now, on radio in the studio, Jonesy is pulling out what little hair he has left. I've seen him lean back in his chair after Şengün just made this last move to the basket. Spun away from the contact.
He spun away from the contact. A little brush helped him go further away. And you'd think the man was a soccer player the way he is flying around.
If I took your blood pressure right now, we're going straight to the emerge.
If we're playing in the schoolyard with him, when he drives in, I am chopping him so hard and say, that's a foul. That you want something to, you don't have to fake.
Send a message.
That's a foul. Send a message. This is what, to me, as a basketball purist, makes it difficult to watch. 87-69. I'll stop editorializing and give you the action. Accounts and descriptions, as our man Taddy would say. 18-point Houston lead. They make it 20. Amen Thompson with a big jam. Houston responds, Javon. Raptors had it down to 15. And a punchback coming from the Rockets. 89-69. Bruce Brown in the lane, floats it up, no good. Rebound knocked away. Here comes Şengün. On the drive, gets it to Green. Jalen Green, straight away to Thompson, far side. On Scotty Barnes, drives in now, gets it back out top. Jalen Green, deep 3 between the rings, no good. Rebound taken away by Grady. Gives it to Schroeder. Here come the Raptors front court. Down 20, 3:25, third quarter. Scotty drives, fouled by Jalen Green. So Scotty will step to the line.
Returning to the Rockets, Frank Van Fleet, Jalen Green. Checking in from Toronto, number 13, Jordan Warren.
89-69, 3:22 to go. No free throws for Barnes. Raptors will inbound. Grady into the lane. Floats it up, left hand, no good. Missed an easy layup. Here comes Houston. Thompson backs down, kicks it out. Şengün, 3 up top, got it. Tees it up and knocks it down. Houston pushes the lead Back up. It's 23 at 92-69. Deep three for the Raptors, no good. Schroeder misfiring. Here comes Houston. Van Vliet up top. Down low. Gets it to Tate. Swing it. Cam Whitmore, three near side. Good. The lead back to 26. Big as it's been all night for Houston. Timeout, Darko Rajakovic.
Yeah, right now, this is what, you imagined would happen, right? A team that got off to a quick start early in the first half, and, Toronto punched back. They jabbed back in this third quarter here. But guys just believed that the ball was going in the basket for Houston, right? And right now they're at a point where it's like they're shooting the ball from the beach to the ocean.
So the Rockets lead it big now. And they've pushed the lead to 26, bigger than it's been all night, 95-69. And Javon, I keep looking at the shooting percentage for Houston, still hovering around 60% at 58.5.
Right, they've hovered around 60 for most of this game. And, you look at Toronto shooting 41% from the floor, 25% from three. But you've got to get stops, right? You got to be able to stop, the transition, the points in the paint were a lot of attacks from the three-point line and guys just blowing by the defender and getting into the paint and just being creative around the basket. And then obviously they really utilized Şengün in the second half here, 24 points, 12 rebounds to go along with 7 assists. But all of that stops from your initial point of attack, right? And that's where you have to stop the ball to stop any advantage. And the Raptors just haven't done that tonight.
Well, give Houston credit. And there's a little extra incentive, I'm sure, playing for Fred Van Vliet. As Houston leads at 95-69, 2:36 to go. Third quarter. Raptors will inbound and bring it 94 feet. Houston picking up. Little token pressure as Schroeder jogs it over the midcourt line. Grady, Thad, Jalen McDaniels, and Jordan Nwora out there for the black-shirted Raptors, coming left to right. McDaniels into the lane, has it knocked away by Whitmore. Here comes Van Vliet on the lob. Cam Whitmore reverse dunk, no good. Rebound Grady to McDaniels. His pass up top, a weak pass, one-handed with the left hand, isn't going to get it done. And Amen Thompson comes back and jams it down for Houston. Their lead is 28. Just under 2 minutes to go, third quarter. Nwora to Thad Young. Gets it to McDaniels. Drives into the lane, has it blocked as he ran into Şengün. And Thompson's second man off the floor got the block.
You feel for McDaniels right now because you just watching him play. Last two possessions, 2 turnovers, and then the weak attack to the basket into Şengün's chest. Almost a third turnover. You can just tell his confidence just is not there right now.
Raptors get a steal. Front court, Jordan Nwora floats it up, no good. Followed by Grady, no good. Missed an easy stick back. It's been that kind of night. Here comes Houston. Tate into the lane. Kicks it out. Whitmore, 3, good. Cam Whitmore makes it a 31-point lead, 100-69, Houston. Grady has it knocked away and out of bounds by Van Vliet. It'll stay with Toronto. Darko still doing his best to lead this team, try to mount some sort of a comeback. You got to be playing for pride now too, Javon.
Yeah.
Nwora in the lane, has it knocked away, and the foul is called on Jae'Sean Tate.
And one for pride, but I look at some of the ages of these guys on Houston. Jabari Smith, 20 years old. Amen Thompson, 21. Jalen Green, 21. Cam Whitmore, 19. And I've got to think, for a guy like Grady Dick, this is a game where you're familiar with these guys, right? These are guys that you've seen on the circuit just a couple of years ago, college, 1 or 2 years ago. So you know the names, you're familiar with the names, young guys, a young team you're playing against. I want to see him be aggressive and just play, right? You can tell right now he's almost taking a step back. And I think that was one of the things we touched on earlier. Just offensively, you want to see Grady take that step forward right now. He's going to play through mistakes. You have the luxury of minutes right now. Just hoop.
100-71. Free throws good for Toronto. Van Vliet, top of the lane, jumper, no good. Rebound tipped up, no good. Comes down in the hands of Grady, who runs it front court, far side. Left wing, pulls up for three, missed everything. Şengün with a long run out. Cam Whitmore with the jam. 102-71. Houston by 31. Jordan Nwora front court. Finds Grady, backdoor cut in the lane, throws it up, no good, off balance, but he's fouled. And Grady will go back to the line.
Number 1, Grady at the line.
26.2 seconds to go, third quarter, 102-71. Houston all over Toronto. Raptors cut it to 15, showed a little bit of life, but again, Houston punches back. Grady misses the free throw. One bounce, second one in the air, good for Grady. 30-point lead though for Houston, 102-72. Rockets coming front court, right to left in the white. Thompson picks it up at midcourt, guarded by Grady. Shot clock, game clock, about 2.5 seconds apart. Thompson straight away. On the dribble against Grady. Drives right into him. That's an offensive foul. Grady did a nice job anticipating Thompson going left and stood in and took the second charge of the night.
Well, that there by Grady, yes, the charge is great, but that's also knowing your scouting report.
Yes.
Amen Thompson, he's not shooting the basketball. And Grady knew that, right? As soon as Fred VanVleet slipped and didn't set that screen, it was now one-on-one. And Grady did a good job again. This is the second time tonight we've seen him pick up a charge, but just moving his feet, got in front of the defense, set up shop, and took it on the chest.
Schroeder straight away. Game clock winding down, third quarter, 5 seconds. Nwora finds Grady, and he didn't get it off before the buzzer on the driving layup. So we'll go to the last lap of the track, and the Rockets have about a half a track lead right now. 102-72, Houston by 30. Fourth quarter when we come back. You're listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050 Toronto.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
It was 1902 when an all-women's baseball team drew massive crowds in Toronto by challenging a local men's team to a series. Torontonians scaled rooftops and climbed trees to get a good view. For these women, winning a game was more than a battle of skill. It was a fight for respect on the field. Learn more local sports histories at Museum of Toronto's new exhibit, Winners and Losers, open until March 9th. If you're coming down for the All-Star game this weekend, find us at Richmond and Spadina. Visit museumoftoronto.com for details.
At Train West Online Academy, we have a sales training and development program that addresses all areas necessary for your success. Learning, developing, and mastering new skills and behaviors takes time, practice, and guidance. That's exactly what you'll get from our sales training program. Our training is built on the concept of incremental growth and change over time, supported by repetition, reinforcement, and coaching. If you're deadly serious about improving your skills, go to trainwest.ca to learn more. Trainwest.ca.
TSN 1050. Listen anywhere. Stream your favorite shows in your car. Available on Apple CarPlay via the iHeartRadio app. TSN 1050. Everywhere you want it.
Fourth quarter, last lap of the track. Raptors down 102-72. Fourth quarter brought to you by CMC Markets. Take your trading to the next level with $0 commission on stocks. Is there a comeback in them, Javon?
You never want to say you're out until the last whistle, but one thing I know, whether there's a comeback in them or not, you just got to play with pride right now. Right? You got to play with some pride, some vigor, just some fight in this last quarter. It'll be tough. It's going to be an uphill battle.
Well, let's see if the Raptors are up for anything that looks like it. Houston has won every quarter so far. Pirtle up top, gets it to Barnes. Scotty straight away. Up top to Quickly, back to Scotty, mid-post. Drives, floats it up, no good. The rebound to Houston. Tate up the middle of the court to Thompson. Spins in the lane, kicks it far side. Three in the air, no good. The veteran Aaron Holiday into the ball game for Houston. Quickly, step back three, got it in the bottom of the well. IQ, first game back after being out with an extended absence. 14 points, 3 of 7 from distance, but only 4 of 12 overall. Houston ball front court. Whitmore underneath, jams it down again. Cam Whitmore is explosive. 104-75 Houston. 18 for Whitmore. Quickly up top. Sets for a three and knocks it in the bottom of the well again. 17 for IQ. Raptors down 104-78. Jeff Green. Far side, gets it to Tate. Swings it into the far corner to Thompson. To a cutting Whitmore in the lane, lays it up and in. Cam Whitmore is having his way. He's got 20 on the night.
You know what's crazy? He's 19 years old. He's 19 years old.
Barnes in the lane, his pass picked off by the aforementioned Whitmore. This guy's doing it all. If you put a broom under his arm, he'll sweep the floor as he's running around. Grady steps in for a steal and going to take it all the way for a two-handed dunk. Good anticipation by Grady, and the Raptors get 2 back, but still trail 106-80. Those are the kinds of plays you want to see from Grady, showing growth going forward, Javon. Long jumper, no good. Rebound. Here comes Quickly in the lane. Has it knocked away, gets it to Grady near side. Down the baseline, and they got a foul on Pirtle against Jayshawn Tate. So that'll turn it over and give it back to Houston.
Give the Rockets, Reggie Bullock Jr. for Amen Thompson.
Raptors trailing 106-80. As Houston brings it front court right to left. Aaron Holiday, one of the Holiday brothers. There's Justin and probably the most famous Drew, but Aaron can do that. Knocks down a triple far side right wing. Houston up 109-80. Raptors back in the lane. Pirtle misses. Here comes Houston. At what point, Javon, does Darko kind of empty the bench and say, let's save it for another night?
I don't think you empty your bench, right? I think outside of Pirtle, you're looking at a bunch of guys, maybe Bruce Brown, who's already on the bench. I think you're looking at a group of guys that just need this time. Play.
Yeah.
Play through it.
Play together, learn something.
Play together. And you dug yourself this hole as a young group. Sometimes it takes some humility.
Yeah. You got into this mess. You made the bed. Sleep in it. Fix it. Quickly up top. Stutter dribble against Reggie Bullock. Backs out on the bounce, far side. Long step back jumper, no good. Rebound. They got Pirtle on a push on the rebound.
Loose ball foul. Heavy call number 19. Jakob Pirtle.
It's rare that you see Jakob talk to a ref about a call.
That's when you know it's bad.
He's talking with Ray Acosta. And Jakob will sit down. He fouled out with 6 points. Pirtle fouls out of the game in 20 minutes. Not the fastest foul out, folks. That belongs to a ex-UConn guy named Jake Voskuhl when he played for the Raptors. Gary Trent steals the ball, loses it. Houston gets it back. Bullock misses a three, but Whitmore tracks it down. Sets for a three, no good. It's like the first thing he's missed all night. Here comes quickly to Thad Young, near wing, knocked away by Jeff Green. Grady makes a steal. Here come the Raptors. Grady, long three, far side, no good. Rebound, Scotty Barnes finishes with the jam. 109-82, Scotty, the lone bright spot with 26 tonight for the Raptors. Quickly not looking too bad in his return to action.
No, you can see he's starting to get it going, just get his rhythm, get his feel, timing.
Tate drives, floats it up with the left hand. 111-82 Houston. 7:40 to go in the ball game. Front court. Deep three, good. In the bottom of the well, Gary Trent Jr. knocks it out. Raptors cut the lead to 111-84. Houston ball, Jeff Green. Cam Whitmore in the lane, weaves in and throws it up and in. Man, if I'm him, I'm buying some Powerball tickets tonight. He's got everything going right now. Barnes near side, right wing. Scotty puts Reggie Bullock in jail, backs him down.
And bullied him.
That is abuse, and dunked it on his head. 28 for Scotty. And Reggie Bullock looking at the bench like, Coach, was there a scouting report on this? And if there was, what am I supposed to do with it? Jeff Green in the lane jams it down. 115-86. It's turned into a summer league game, folks.
Yeah.
6:20 to go. Quickly launches a three and knocks it down. IQ with 20 in his return. Houston back, and they've got a timeout. Ime Udoka wants to talk about what I'm not sure. His Houston Rockets all over the Raptors right now. 115-88, 6:06 to go, fourth quarter. This is Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050 Toronto.
Life will be a struggle for Zoe. Zoe will not apply to post-secondary school because Zoe might not finish high school. Because Zoe can barely concentrate in grade school. Because every day Zoe goes to school, Zoe is hungry. Help keep food banks full. $16 donated to Feed Ontario can provide breakfast for a hungry child for 1 month. Learn how you can help at feedontariotogether.ca.
The job market isn't changing. It's already changed. New technologies are creating new jobs and eliminating others. How can you prepare for this new world of work? With the York University School of Continuing Studies program. Our programs are developed with industry experts and enable you to upskill and reskill quickly. You'll also gain access to our career services to help pursue your ambitions. Get hired in fields like accounting, big data, cybersecurity, digital marketing, customer success management, and cloud ops. Learn more at continue.yorku.ca.
At Trillium Health Partners, we're ready to see you, not just as a patient, but as a person who needs innovative care with a human touch, a person with a life, with hopes, and with fears. At Trillium Health Partners, we'll see the whole you, our nurses, our doctors, and our staff. Because when we care for the whole person, our whole community gets stronger. Trillium Health Partners, we see you. Learn more at weseeyou.ca.
Making your lousy commute Fun. Overdrive with Hayes Noodles and the O-Dog. Every weekday, 4 to 7 p.m. on TSN 1050.
Houston 115, Raptors 88. Top of the stretch, halfway through the fourth quarter, 6:06 to go. And the Raptors fighting uphill all night as Houston has been, well, dominant. They've won every quarter and so tough. Tonight are the Rockets. See what the Raptors can muster. Looking for anything on the positive side right now if you're Toronto. We've had the retirement of Marc Gasol, and he's had many accolades, but the one that Raptor fans may remember the most is that 2019 championship, the final piece being traded over to Toronto from Memphis. The Raptors gave up Valanciunas in the deal. And Toronto got the chip that year. Thompson in the lane, steps around Grady. The misdirection step, 1-2. 117-89. Quickly back, deep three, got it. IQ continuing to find his range. I know it's a big lead for Houston. Thompson has a career-high 19 points. Quickly with 23 for Toronto. Career-high 6 three-point makes. Grabs the rebound there off the missed shot. Brings it front court. Finds Thad Young in the lane. Thad Young on Jeff Green. Leans in and gets it down with the left hand. It'd be like the two old guys playing one-on-one out in the schoolyard when neither of them can jump. 33 years of experience between the two of them. 117-94 Houston. Reggie Bullock, corner three, good. 120-94 Houston. Quickly shakes Bullock, gets into the lane, kicks it out. Grady steps into a three, no good. Rebound Whitmore. 4:35 we go. Quickly's had a good fourth quarter for Toronto. Whitmore, deep three, got it again. Man, that guy has been a revelation. 25 for Cam Whitmore. 10 of 17, 3 of 7 from behind the arc. Grady tries to find a cutting Gary Trent. It's thrown away. Back comes Houston. Uncle Jeff Green with the left-hand jam. It's a 31-point lead for the Rockets, big as it's been all night. 3:55 to go. Raptors limping toward the finish line. Quickly puts it up and he's fouled. He'll get a couple of free throws. So Toronto getting Quickly and Pirtle back tonight, but not really amounting to much, Javon, as these Rockets have been tough to handle all night.
76 points in the paint. 76 points in the paint.
Let's take a break. Houston leading it 125-95. You're listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050 Toronto.
Good morning.
Baby, it's a brand new day.
When you vacation with Norwegian Cruise Line, every day is a new day. Get a taste for Barcelona, then savor incredible dining back on board one day. Connect to ancient history in Athens, and then disconnect in our spa another day. Wherever the sea breeze takes you, come aboard and experience a different tomorrow with Norwegian. Visit ncl.com, call your travel advisor, or 1-888-NCL-CRUISE. Norwegian Cruise Line. Ships registry the Bahamas and USA.
The rest of my life gon' start today.
Unhibernate. Verb. To laugh in the face of snow because you drive a Subaru. As in, when I unhibernate, I have the roads all to myself because my Subaru has symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and others don't. Or, the award-winning safety in my Subaru means I can unhibernate all winter while my neighbors stare longingly from their bedroom windows. Or my favorite usage. I'm going to unhibernate this winter by visiting my local Subaru dealer today. Welcome to Uncommon Winter Confidence.
Hey Raptor fans, what's better than the team winning on the court? A win for the kids and a win for you. When you play the MLSE Foundation 50-50 jackpot, you help communities get kids and youth off the sidelines and onto the court. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. Will you be a winner this season? Only one way to know. Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
TSN 1050. Listen anywhere. Stream your favorite shows on your smart speaker. Simply tell your smart speaker to listen to TSN 1050 everywhere you want it.
Houston leading Toronto. It's a 30-point bulge right now, 125-95. Raptors fighting all night, but really, Houston really in control of this thing.
Yeah, Houston in control, but Scotty Barnes was up to his usual stuff, right? 28 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 10 for 17 from the floor. But I thought there was a number of times where he just showed big time flashes of, you know, a young Giannis, of just getting down, like, post-ups on his defender. And if you want to find a bright spot, you know, obviously this hasn't been a great showing by the Raptors. You know, Scotty Barnes is really played some good basketball.
Well, Emmanuel Quickley has been good in his return as well. He's on the free throw line now, knocks down the first one. 125-96. IQ with 24 in his return. And make it 25 as Quickley knocks down the second one. 5 of 7 from distance, 6 of 11 from 3. And then Jordan Nwora takes the foul so they can get IQ out of the game. Quickly out. Garrett Temple checking in. Darko with his left hand around the waist of Emmanuel Quickley as they talk at the bench. Looking at helping this kid going forward. Jordan Nwora with the steal. He'll take it all the way for the easy two-hand dunk. Houston's emptied their bench. Aaron Holiday, Reggie Bullock out there with one of the all-time fan favorites, Boban Marjanovic. And the foul called on Houston. It'll be on Nate Hinton. $125-99, 3:24 to go. As the Raptors are looking for any bit of positivity to take forward with them into the next game. Temple jumper no good. Rebound Boban. Outlet. Here comes Houston front court. Aaron Holiday. They go down low. Marjanovic. Boban gets to the hoop, floats it up, no good, but he'll get free throws. He is a fan favorite wherever he goes, and from all the players that you talk to around the league, Boban Marjanovic, 7'4", 286-pound Serbian, is a terrific teammate. The crowd cheering in approval for the free throw that went down from Marjanovic. Second one also good. He's been in the league 9 years. Garrett Temple brings it front court for Toronto. 127-99. Deep in the stretch, 2:45 to go. Jordan Nwora, floater from the free throw line, gets it down. Raptors down 26, 127-101. The defense of the Raptors never really allowed them to be.
Didn't get him a chance at all.
No, in this game tonight, Javon. I agree with you totally. The Rockets shooting 59%. Marjanovic inside for the dunk. 129-101. McDaniels 3 for Toronto. Got the roll in the bottom of the well. Are they calling that a long 2 for Jalen? No, it is a 3. Boban in the lane, loses it, but picked up and jammed down by Jermaine Samuels, another Villanova guy into the ball game. 131-104. McDaniels up top. Gives it away, the steal. Nate Hinton all the way in and lays it in. A local product from the University of Houston. Rockets by 29. Javon, Grady 3, no good near side. What does Darko say to the guys after this game? This was one of those where it was a tough night. It's almost like they were never in it.
It's a tough night, but I don't think, with the direction of the Raptors, it's not one of the ones where we come in and say, hey, you just throw this out, right? You just throw this game out and don't think about it, on to the next one. Obviously, your next game is against OKC, which is one of the best teams in the league right now. But you've got to look at every defensive clip from this game, especially from the first half, and just see that, okay, blow by after blow by after blow by, right? I don't even think this is a game where you talk about offense, right? The shots are going to happen. Shots are going to fall. You're going to make or miss shots to make or miss league. But what transpired on the defensive end is all effort, right? We're not even talking about schemes, systems. It is blow by, guard your yard. It just wasn't happening.
Nwora in the lane scores for Toronto. Houston comes back and misses. 40 seconds to go in the game. Thad Young down low, kicks it near side. Garrett Temple, pump fake, 3 in the air, no good. Rebound Marjanovic. And they get it over center. Houston's going to have to give it up or take the turnover. But it's immaterial as the Rockets put one on the Raptors tonight. Houston shooting 59%. 135-106. They take the turnover with 4.7 seconds to go. Boban Marjanovic of Serbian descent making his way toward the Raptor bench. You know what's happening after this one. He leans over and a big hug for Darko. But it was Houston in control tonight. You know the old adage, Houston, we got a problem? Well, that's what the Raptors were saying tonight. And the problem was the Rockets offense that shot 59%. They defeat Toronto. It's a final at the Toyota Center, 135-106 Rockets. The Raptors will pack their bags and head to Oklahoma City.
Tough game.
Yeah, tough night.
From start to finish, this was definitely a tough one. And, like I mentioned before during the broadcast, this is one of the ones where, no, I can't say you crumple up the stat sheet and throw it out. You've got to get better from this because it has nothing to do with tools or talent. It's about the effort on the defensive end. And, for most of this game, Houston shot 60% from the floor, right? And it wasn't that they were making tough shots or they just got caught fire. A lot of those were straight line drives to the basket. Their guards were extremely aggressive. Second half, they really dumped it into Şengün. He had himself a great game, 24 points, 13 rebounds, 8 assists. And, the lone bright spot for the Raptors was Scotty Barnes, 28 points, 6 rebounds, and he couldn't do it by himself, right? And it became a tough uphill battle. It was great to see quickly come out and play 30 minutes, get to, air it out a bit, get himself a sweat, shot the ball well from 3, 6 for 11, 25 points, 6 assists. But again, before you get over into Oklahoma and see Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, right, there's some things that you got to get in check on the defensive end.
Well, the Raptors will work on those for the next game up against the OKC Thunder. Jim Taddy, Warren Ward up next on the postgame. For all of us here, we say thank you for listening. Houston defeats Toronto 135-106. This has been Tangerine Raptors basketball across the TSN radio network.
Did you fix that leaky tap?
Uh-huh.
How about that loose doorknob?
Uh-huh.
Right now, we can get a free medium pizza from 2-for-1 Pizza.
Did somebody say free pizza?
See, it's not just the kids that have selective hearing.
Right now, get a free medium one-topping pizza with a minimum $25 purchase before tax and delivery. Limited time offer. Online orders only. Visit 2for1pizza.com and use coupon code FREEM.
Does your furnace have a habit of breaking down as soon as it gets cold outside? And your plans for a relaxing night at home turn cold, along with your toes? Not good. Luckily, a highly trained licensed Intercare technician can get your furnace fixed fast. And what we quote is what you pay. So don't get left out in the cold. And right now, get a free diagnostic checkup, a $99 value. Get your furnace fixed right with Intercare. Terms and conditions apply. Give your home more at intercare.ca.
Final call for the Air France Rendezvous. Until February the 6th, enjoy fares at the very best prices during the Air France Rendezvous and benefit from our 90 years of experience of in-flight fine dining, design and comfort. Our very best 90th anniversary fares have just landed. Book your flight to Florence starting at $890 return from Toronto, tax included. Elegance is a journey. Air France. Travel from January 24th to June 22nd or from September 18th to October 31st, 2024. See conditions at airfrance.ca.
In Scarborough, there's this fire behind our eyes.
A passion in our bellies.
It's in the hearts of our neighbors.
The eyes of our nurses.
And the hands of our doctors.
It's what makes Scarborough, Scarborough.
In our hospitals, we do more than anyone thought possible, with less than anyone could imagine.
But it's time to imagine what we can do with more.
Join Scarborough Health Network, and together,
we can turn grit into greatness.
Donate at lovescarborough.ca.
This is Raptors Game Night on TSN 1050. The Raptors live here.
Welcome to Raptors Game Night, the postgame show. 135-106. Houston rolls the Raptors as the Raptors drop to 1-2 on a 6-game road trip, continuing in OKC on Sunday. Welcome aboard, Jim Taddy, Warren Ward, Josh Lewenberg, and Javon Shepard. Nice enough to hang around. And Javon, really, it was Scotty, and quickly had a pretty good game, but as a unit, not so good at all from the start.
Yeah, not so good. And again, it was really just on the defensive side. And that may just sound cliche and an easy attack or easy way to summarize the game. But when you have a Houston team that shot pretty much 6% over the course of the game for 48 minutes, pretty much for the entire game, that says something. I thought their guards, they just took turns. And Jonesy said it on the broadcast, just abused the Raptors. And really, you know, a lot of it happened in the open court. You can't look at what Houston did and say they ran elaborate offenses or, you know, it was a game that we got out-coached. But their guards were just, they really had the Raptors on their heels constantly in attack mode. Jalen Green, you know, early on, getting to the rim. Whitmore getting to the rim. And just a number of their guys, Whitlock, getting to the rim. But they did a tremendous job there, and I thought the Raptors just didn't do or put up any resistance in the open court to slow down this Houston team.
You know, one of the biggest things I noticed is just screen setting. You know, I think the Raptors got away from being a tough group, a group that wants to set screens and hit people. It's okay to lose games. I mean, this is, you know, no team's gonna have a season without one game where they just, you know, they just don't have it going and they get blown out. But at least you can fight through those things. At least you can hit people. And I felt as though cutters just got to the lane too easy for Houston. They didn't have any body contact. They didn't really show any toughness. You know, Scotty continues to play well and do what he's doing and leading by example. I thought quickly for his return to come back and play 25 and 6. Those are great numbers. When RJ gets acclimated, it's going to be, you know, they're going to have more depth. But if they don't take care of the toughness aspect and just controlling the things that are within their control, this could happen again, especially on the road. So, you know, I urge the Raptors to
stay together as a group and learn from this one, but go into that next game being, well, we're not going to get out-toughed. And tonight, that's what happened.
Yeah, I mean, that was the difference, is the toughness, the force that, I mean, outside of Scotty Barnes, I'm not sure that any Raptors player came in, especially early on, playing with the type of force on either end of the floor that you need to, that pretty much everyone that suited up for Houston tonight had. 84 points in the paint for the Rockets. I mean, that's a glaring number. It's more than the Raptors have given up in any game this season. In fact, it's the most that any team has given up this season, tying the season high this year in the NBA. And in fact, the Raptors haven't given up more points in the paint since February of 2009, that from TSN stat guru Keeks. So, I mean, we talk about Jakob Poeltl and his return to the lineup. We mentioned this at halftime, too. I think it's too much to hang this on Poeltl, who was playing limited minutes tonight, ended up fouling out after 20 minutes. And clearly it's going to take some time for him to get his conditioning back. It is an ongoing issue, though, in that the Raptors have allowed at least 70 points in the paint in 4 of the last 7 games. And it was easy up until this point to say, okay, well, they didn't have their rim protector in the paint. But whether Poeltl is in the lineup or not, like what we saw today, to Javon's point, is a lot of breakdowns on the perimeter or the Rockets guards getting out in transition. The breakdowns or the errors, what led to a lot of these Rockets pain points, came long before Poeltl had a chance to even stop the bucket if he was in the game or at the rim at all. So to me, like, defensively, that was the biggest issue tonight. And you're not going to win a game in which you allow 84 points in the paint.
Yeah, and to put that on, nobody can put that on Poeltl, because the reality is on a team, any team, your 5-man, your center is your last line of defense. Right, and it wasn't like there was a number of screens being set or they're running a number of actions. It was literally, okay, open court, we're going to attack, or, Fred would initiate the offense and get it to one of the wings, and then they're attacking the basket. So at that point, you're not relying on rotation. You've got to stop that point of attack. You've got to stop the ball. The ball is what's going through the hoop, right? And it's not like this team was, a number of assists or, the ball wasn't popping. These guys were playing one-on-one. I thought some of the Raptors looked a bit scared on both ends of the floor. And I said it on air as well. Grady Dick, I thought this was a game where, if you look at Houston's roster, a number of these guys are 19, 20, 21, 22. You're familiar with these guys because you've seen them on, and I know they've only done 1 year of college, but you've seen them on the AAU circuit. You should be familiar with these guys, their names, their games, and so forth. I thought this was a game that Grady should have came out and just played, just flat out hooped. Shoot everything, get on loose balls and attack the rim, just be comfortable. But he looked really tentative. I know he had a couple decent plays on the defensive side where he picked up some charges moving his feet. But especially if this team's going to be developing, going that direction, going younger, he's got to also step up and, just enjoy playing and take this as a challenge and put the ball through the hole, take shots, and get adjusted and get acclimated to the NBA game.
Javon, take us through this. It just seemed like they were unresponsive all the way through, but what did you see them try to do that didn't work?
Well, I think in the second half, they adjusted a bit in terms of the defense on the guards and being a bit more aggressive. But then, at that point, Houston's already shooting the ball from the beach into the ocean, and it's that much harder to stop, right? There was a little moment there where you could see some resistance, and then Houston adjusted. They pivoted, and they started to get the ball to Şengün a bit more, and he's a load, right? He's a player.
Wow.
And if this is our first time getting some, up close and personal with him and really taking a look, he is a heck of a player, and he also passed the basketball. He's doing it on the move, in transition, giving the ball in the post. Great job using his body, using angles, and also embellishing, contact and getting some calls. So credit him as well.
Yeah, no, overall, nothing the Raptors did was working tonight. That is for sure. I mean, Şengün had his way down low and finding his teammates. He only played 29 minutes and almost had a triple-double, so I just put things in perspective. But, to summarize it all, giving up 80-plus points in the paint, again, you're not going to win too many games. So they tried to make adjustments, but I think overall, Coach Darko forgot to score and started focusing on individual effort and looking at how he could coach, which is the positive part of the game. So looking overall at mistakes that players were making. You saw him coaching, clapping, and encouraging them, and running different sets. And that's really all you can do, because the game got away from after that third quarter was pretty much over. And I didn't like the aspect of Houston just getting easy runouts. Thought the Raptors should have took more pride in that part, but that's a teachable moment. You don't want to let a team blow you out, but it's also how they do it. And if they're getting easier buckets, they're getting dunks in transition, you're turning the ball over left, right, and center. That's the part that you can control, and that effort to at least foul somebody. That's all within your control.
These types of games are tough, right? Like, it would have been tough to coach. It would have been tough to play in. It was certainly tough to watch. And I think it's really tough for evaluation purposes, too, because if you're into moral victories, I guess tonight it would be Scotty Barnes based on how well he played. At 28 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, was efficient in 33 minutes. Did a lot of it against a really good defender in Dylan Brooks, too. But at the same time, it's like, how much are you taking away from a game like this? If you're Barnes, how much are you developing? How much are you learning in a game like this? It's obviously not nothing. I mean, I think whenever you get reps at the highest level or any level, like, you're taking something away. But at the same time, like, this would be the argument. A game like this would be the argument against starting from the bottom and working your way up, tearing things down, a tank or rebuild or whatever you want to call it. A scenario in which you're losing a lot of games really, really badly because, as the Raptors have said time and time again, and this is why they want to remain competitive to some degree, is it's best for Barnes and Quickly and Barrett and Grady Dick, go down the line, and all the young players, some guys that aren't even on this team yet that they'll eventually be building around. It's always good for young players. Houston's a good example of it when you're developing those guys in a competitive environment. Doesn't have to be winning, doesn't have to be a playoff team necessarily, but I think the tough loss in Atlanta the other day is a good example of it. That was a moral victory in the sense that you could take a lot from a game like that, from high leverage reps in crunch time. I'm not sure you get that same experience in a blowout tonight.
Yeah, totally agree with that. I mean, if you tore it down and you wasted a Scotty Barnes, if you look at Detroit, the teams like that are going to go through a lot of players. It's very destructive for the roster because you just can't turn it around. It takes a long time. There's something here to work with. So the hope is that we don't see very many games like this. I want to ask Jovan about Şengün. I mean, when this guy starts going, you cannot defend him, can you?
You can't defend him because he really uses his body, and aside from that, he has a number of tools, right? He's also not afraid to pass the basketball. And it's funny because there was a couple of times where he was actually mid-spin, and not only did he make the play, but what was impressive is that he seen that play developing 2 or 3 seconds before, and made the right call, made the right play. But then you also dropped the ball into him, and he can score the basketball, right? He was 10 for 14 from the floor and 1 for 2 from 3. But the 13 rebounds also gives your team easier offenses and early opportunities because he can catch the ball off of the rim. He can push it the length of the floor. And he's a little bit unorthodox doing it, so he's tougher to defend as well. And I call him Baby Jokic just for that reason right there. Hard to guard, unorthodox, but just really does it all. And the impressive thing at his age, right, he really understands himself. And I think having that ability to know your strengths, know your weaknesses at 21 years old is why he can really impact the game.
Talented beyond measure. I mean, he has everything you'd want in a center. I think his emergence has been one that's been steady, and you're just seeing him get better and better as seasons go on. He had a very efficient night tonight, of course, but I think out of everyone who talked about snubs, I think he's an all-star snub this season. His numbers, the way he plays, his efficiency, just how talented he is, and Jovan talked about his movement. That's the most impressive part. I mean, he a few moves he had Pirtle's feet looking like they were stuck in mud because he's just able, so nimble and quick, move into the basket. No, seriously, like it's hard. Like, I'm not even mad at Pirtle. It's like it's hard to stay with someone who moves that well. It's like, players are going to go left and right. Everyone knows that, but how they do it and the way that he can be efficient doing so. You look at his movement, and it's like fundamentally very impressive for a guy his size to be doing that. So, all in all, encompassing, it's
he's everything that I think you'd want to build a team around, even though he'll probably won't get the credit until they start winning championships, and he's putting up these sort of numbers every single season. But he's on his way, that's for sure. And to have a big man who can stretch the floor and shoot it as well, I mean, Houston had found a gem in this guy, and I think his potential's off the chart.
And I've got to say, I think Fred VanVleet has been excellent for him. I mean, I think he's been really good for a lot of the young guys on the Rockets, but specifically for Şengün, I mean, obviously a pick-and-roll partner, but even just a veteran leader to help guide him along the early stages of his NBA journey. I kind of raised my eyebrow a little bit when I saw that VanVleet was going to the Rockets. I know a lot of people did. Firstly, obviously, because of the money that they were giving him, but also the fit initially, too, where I'm like, okay, well, I know Fred didn't love the experience of losing as much as the Raptors did last year or in the Tampa season. Had some trouble, I think, kind of
adapting to the youth.
Adapting to the youth. Perfectly said, because, I mean, that I think was an adjustment for him coming off of those championship seasons. But, I mean, first of all, for Houston, you could understand pretty quickly why they wanted to bring him in if the goal was under Ime Udoka to expedite the rebuilding process, to bring in a guy that, and Dylan Brooks, you put in this category as well, Jeff Green, guys that can help bring these young guys along. But for VanVleet, like, he seems to really be embracing this challenge and acknowledged even earlier today that maybe he wasn't at his best in terms of being a leader and learning that role with some of the young guys on the Raptors the last few years. And he learned from that experience things that he's now bringing to the table in Houston. They've got a lot of young talent. They're in a really good spot. It seems like VanVleet is in a good spot. So, I mean, we'll see them in Toronto again in a week from now. It'll be good to see VanVleet back in Toronto. I'm sure the fans will give him a deserved ovation. And it kind of reminds me of what Nick Nurse had to say when he was back in Toronto earlier this season, when he said everybody's where they need to be. The Raptors are moving on, building around Scotty Barnes. Nurse is obviously in a good situation in Philadelphia. I think VanVleet found a good spot in Houston.
Javon, just a quick thought on the way out. In terms of this game, I mean, short-term memory loss works, right?
We hope. we hope in this case. Mm-hmm. But one thing you want to take from the game and is just stopping the basketball. And I think you got to have that constant reminder going into next game, especially when you have to defend Shea.
Yeah, there's another assignment. Right. Okay, Javon, thanks very much for hanging around. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
135-106. The Rockets have fun with the Raptors tonight. We'll come back with more. This is Raptors Game Night, the post-game show on TSN 1050.
The National Basketball Association on SiriusXM. For a full list of games and channels, go to
Bleachers, or was it at Root, or was it at the fans rooting against him? That debate rages on to this day, but one thing is certain. After taking 2 strikes, Ruth walloped the ball, sending it over 440 feet into center field for his 15th and final career postseason home run. The Yankees would go on to win that game 7-5, and a day later completed the sweep of the Cubs. That's what the record